time going live. So I'm so glad you're here. Everybody go ahead and post in the comments, hashtag live, hashtag replay. You found us, we are live, and we're gonna be able to answer all of your questions. This is so exciting. So welcome to the TikTok side of things. I usually don't go live here, but I'm super excited to do that. So post in the comments if you guys have any questions for me. Hi, Natalia. Hi, Jesse. Good to see everybody. What we're going to be doing is asking, how do we start a preschool, not a daycare in our home? So a lot of the people who follow me are either ones who have maybe they are in the district and they are working on figuring out how they can leave the district. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. We are live everywhere, everywhere on the planet. And I can't see through my bangs. Chop, chop, chop. But so we're going to be talking about how to start your online or local preschool, not a daycare, right? That is my biggest thing. I do have a book. You guys can go grab it. freepreschoolbook.com teaches you how to get your preschool started. And we're going to be sharing my story. We're going to be talking about just everything that we can. So thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the comments. This is going to help the lives go everywhere as much as possible. Okay, so let me see if I can see our comments. There we're at. Okay. Hi, Heather. Yeah, how fun. Okay, so what we're going to do is I had a couple people ask questions first. We're going to do this in a two-part thing. First, I'm going to answer your questions. And then second, I thought it'd be super fun to actually read my book live to you. What do you guys think about that? Would that be fun? That's going to take a lot from me. I think it's going to be like 4 hours for me to read my book, but I want to do it with you. So, okay. Anyways, let's answer your questions though first. So post in the comments right now, what questions do you have about how you can start a preschool, not a daycare? So the way that we help women, we help them start part-time preschools, which is usually like 2.5 hours classes, or like if they're local, 2.5 hour classes, or a 30-minute online class per day, right? So that's how we typically set it up. We don't target work at home parents. We target stay-at-home moms and part-time working parents. As you can imagine though, if somebody needs full-time care, that they're going to go to the daycare, the childcare side of things. That's not us, right? For our part-time preschool programs, the premier preschools in our area, we create exceptional preschool experiences, and they're just preschool classes that have so much more, right? So we don't have, because it doesn't make any sense if people are going to say, well, wait a second, everybody needs daycare, so why would anybody go to your preschool program? And that's a large question that I get asked a lot. A lot of people do need daycare. That's 100% accurate. But we just don't build those. It's just like if you were saying, well, a lot of people need lawn mowing services. That's right, they do. But that's not our business, right? So everybody can have a different business. Daycares can have their businesses. We focus on preschools. So then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to actually create either a local one in your home or a church or another building, even partner up with a friend if you're going to be building a preschool together, or if you're going to do it online. All you need is literally just like a wall behind us here, right? Oh, thank you for the questions. Keep them going so I can answer them here. And then of course we are going to dive right in. And I apologize for being a little bit scattered. I am live on all platforms and it makes me very nervous. So I'm here though. You can be nervous and do things too. All right. So here's our questions that we got originally from our Facebook audience. And so thank you everybody for posting questions there. Let's dive right into one of these, and then I'm going to go to our TikTok audience. I'll see if we have any on YouTube. So we're just going to be playing questions everywhere. So here we go. Let's see. This question comes in from, here we go. Let's see. Jayla Cruz. How do I get over the fear and just go for it? She says, I know I'm qualified. I'm just scared others won't think so. Well, Jayla, the truth is that we're always going to be scared. That's just how it is. So your brain starts kicking this fear out anytime that there's something unknown, uncertain, right? And so it's naturally going to go into this, wait a second, this is unknown, it's scary. So there's always a question I ask, right? Is the fear may be real, but is the danger real? So back in the day when we had to escape tigers and all the things, right? We're just like running away from all the fear because we thought it might kill us, okay? But the truth is like, even if we're super scared about things, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's an actual danger behind it. So the brain will just kick that on. It doesn't know whether it's you're scared of others not thinking you're qualified or if they're going to kill you. So you have to kind of like use this question. The fear is real. It's uncertain. It's new. That's normal. But is the danger real? So what is the worst? And this, I love to ask this too. What is the worst that can happen, right? So the worst thing that can happen is you are going to what, right? Well, if somebody doesn't think that you're qualified, okay, the worst thing that can happen is they might leave a negative review or a negative comment on your post. What can you do about that? You can just delete it. So if that's the worst that they can do to you, right? We just have to always go to like worst case scenario. Okay. But Jayla, I'm going to go a step further. I would say that the worst thing that could happen is that actually you don't start your preschool. That's what I would say. So welcome TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We're live on all the platforms. I would say the worst thing that could happen is that you don't start your preschool and therefore you are still stuck in a job you hate. You're working those long hour days. And you are just overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do. So that's a worst case scenario than getting a negative review or a negative comment on your post, right? Post your questions in the comments right now, everybody who wants to know how to start your preschool. Post them in the comments. I'm going to be going next to TikTok audience for your questions. Thank you, Christina. I see your comment over here in your question. I'm going to get to yours next. So hope that helped, Jayla. I just want you to ask a couple clarifying questions there. And then what do? We feel the fear and we go through it, right? We take action and that makes us go through the fear. We still feel it. Nobody doesn't feel it. Okay. We still feel it, but we have to take action to overcome that feeling. Okay. And then it becomes behind us. Okay. Hi, Christiana. Let's see here. How much should I charge parents for online preschool with pre-recorded classes only? Well, that's a loaded question. So there are two ways that you can, of course, do preschool: local classes or online classes. Online classes, you're going to be typically doing like a 30-minute class per day. You can either do that live, like I'm doing right now on maybe a Zoom platform, though, where you can see everybody, they can see each other, or you can do it on pre-recorded. So just, click record on your camera or your webcam and start talking and goofing around and doing all your teaching and then send that out. So we suggest that there's actually a certain formula that you go through. That's why I'm saying I can't just give you an answer on how much should you charge, because I can't give a blanket answer for everybody. Same thing with local preschool. The good news is that we go over all the details actually in my book, which I'm going to be reading to everybody today. I'm going to just do a big reading party. I thought that'd be super fun for everybody to kind of dive into the book, especially if you have the book and you haven't read it yet. I thought that'd be fun. Sometimes just cracking open the book and sitting down, taking that first read is difficult. So, but here's a framework we can give you. Okay, so I'm not just going to give you a number because that doesn't serve you. There's a framework to it. So whenever we're considering how much we should charge, I want you to first consider how much you're going to add into the program. Okay, we always view our programs and our offerings with massive value because we're going to become the premier preschool in our area. Okay, so we don't want to just be like, oh, well, they're charging X amount, so I'm going to charge that much too. You got to dive deeper into the program and say, okay, we're going to create a preschool program that's not a daycare. And what can we add on top of preschool classes? What can we add that's not just a preschool class? We want this to be more than just a preschool. So in that sense, the things that I like to tell you to add are, number one, find your niche, right? Like, how are you different from other people? I love preschool programs that are bilingual, preschool programs that offer dance or music classes or drama, or preschool programs that, did we say singing? I don't know. Preschool programs that focus on maybe a social emotional curriculum, preschool programs that focus on what else? Obviously, reading readiness, right? So yes, these are all elements of a preschool program, but like, what's your angle into your area? Especially if you're online, there are several online preschools now, especially that I've been in the world helping to create them. And so we really need to like differentiate you. The great news is that whenever you join our programs, we actually give you free Spanish curriculum inside of our programs so that you can actually promote yourself as a bilingual online preschool or local preschool, which is fabulous. You don't have to know Spanish. We actually have a Spanish teacher that teaches the program. So how beautiful is that? So that's definitely a niche that you can take. Bilingual is huge right now. And then also just, what lights you up? What inspires you? That's what I'd actually prefer to ask. Because if you're like, I'm a bilingual preschool and that's my niche, and you could care less about learning other languages, that is not your niche, friend. That is just a value add. And that's fine. We can add value adds. Those are fine. But like, what lights you up inside, right? That's what I want to. And we actually discover that through our 7-day free challenge. So hashtag registered if you guys are registered for our 7-day challenge. It's coming up on Monday, tomorrow. I can't even believe it. It's crazy. So that's super fun. Let's see. Let's go back down. So now that we are going to find out what's our niche, how do we make ourselves different? We need to say, what can we add to our program? Not just preschool classes, not just a 30-minute pre-recorded class. What can I add in? Ooh, I can add in extra Spanish classes. I can add in t-shirts that I mail to them. I can add in a graduation program. I can add in virtual field trips if you're online, or local field trips, all for free, right? I can add in free assessments, right? 3 times a year. So my point is like, keep adding until you think it's enough, and then keep going like 3 more things. Does that make sense? That's how I always view my program. So anybody who is a preschool all-star and have been through my programs, or preschool in a box, or anything like that, you guys know that I just massively over deliver all the time. I try to give as much value as I possibly can. So that's my goal for you. First, don't consider the price. I want you to consider what you're going to put into this program. Okay. Then I want there to be a giant discrepancy. If you feel like this program is worth $500 a month for your preschool program, right? For a 30-minute pre-recorded class, it's probably a little bit outside of people's budgets, right? But you have to put in as much value for that. Like, if you feel like people would actually pay $500 a month for this, awesome, cool. Make your value that high, then lower the actual price for it. Okay. So I want premium classes, and we do want a premium rate, but we also can't outprice ourselves, right? So there's a fine line, right? So online preschool programs, 30-minute pre-recorded, you're looking anywhere from $47 a month up to probably $97 a month is probably the general flow of that. You start adding in some live classes though, or some virtual one-on-ones with your students, all of a sudden that value goes up. So we can go into the $100 to $200 a month range, right? For just one student. Now, guys, you're like, oh, it's no money. That's hardly anything, Joy. Okay, well, how much time are you actually spending with that one student? You see what I'm saying? If you're only doing pre-recorded classes, you're literally almost doing nothing, right? You could have 1,000 students in your program and work the exact same number of hours, and you just times that, $100 by 1,000. Okay. So online preschool is a little bit different. Obviously, with local, we're going to do that 2.5-hour class time. So 9 to 11:30, and then they go home. And we're going to dive into that. I'm actually going to be reading my book in just a little bit. I can't wait. And it'll dive into like the actual layout of what a preschool actually looks like, right? Welcome, my 58 friends. TikTok just jumped up. Super excited to see you all. I'm Joy Anderson. I'm going to help you create a preschool, not a daycare, so that you can stay home with your kids and create a consistent income. So stay tuned. We're going to be reading live from my book today, and Facebook and YouTube. Super excited to have you here as well. We're taking questions, so post in the comments all of your questions that you have. I'm going to go next to another question over here on Facebook. Then I'm back to you, TikTok, with your questions. So keep the questions going, everybody. We're going to continue your questions here. Okay, the next question is, let's see, Quinn. I love this. Quinn Cooper, my friend. She is a new preschool all-star. She says, her question is, being a director and imprinting vision so that your staff can do what you want to see. Oh, Quinn, I love this. So obviously, when we create our preschool programs, we're typically like, we have 3 hats all on one head. We are the teacher, we're the owner, and we're the director, right? The thing with that, though, is that if you are all 3, the problem with that is that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of overwhelm. So if you can get in, bringing either other teachers on staff. Now, how do you train them in your vision? So I always view it like this. Like, if you're a perfectionist, guys, you got to get over that right now. Please just get over that. Perfectionism will not serve you anywhere. It'll help you have a better eye to even see how things might look better. But in the end, you guys still have to implement. So if you have been around for 6 months or 6 years, still planning your preschool and not taking action and not actually starting your preschool program, well, then I would suggest that that's probably a perfectionist inside of you trying to make sure everything's perfect before, and make sure you're ready. I hate that word. Make sure you're ready before you launch something, right? So Quinn, the reason I tell you this is because a lot of times people will actually hold back from hiring staff until they feel like they have all the answers, until I know that I can, make sure that they follow my same lead and they have my same curriculum and they teach the same way I will teach and all this stuff, right? And they'll actually, because they think nobody can teach better than them. Okay. So Quinn, I'm getting to your question, but I think there's actually some deeper questions inside of that I'm going to dive down into. And I wonder if this is part of this. Okay. So let me know in the comments if this is resonating to everybody. #feel this. So whenever where was I going with this? It was so good. Okay. Sometimes I get a little bit scatterbrained. Okay. So the point is this, is whenever you are setting out your preschool and you have all these hats on, you think that you can do it all and nobody can do it better than you. But I would challenge that question. I would challenge it because the truth is if you have all three, so that means you are scattered 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, teacher, owner, director. You can only do 1/3 of the effort, my friends, in 100% of your time, okay? Because you are doing all the things. All of a sudden, if you give one person that hat and you say you're the teacher, okay? You're the teacher right now. And if you give that one person the hat, then that person has 100% of their effort that they can dive into this and fully own it. And guess what, friends? I will tell you right now, you are not a unicorn. There is a teacher out there. There are many teachers out there that are actually just as good as you, or shocker, maybe even better. Now, that was hard for me to know and for me to understand, because in the beginning, when I started my preschool program in my home, I only had 24 students, and it was just me, the teacher, owner, the director. I thought that I was just all the things and nobody could do it better than me and nobody could teach like me. And so in fact, when I hired my first teacher, Quinn, this is answering your question. When I hired my first teacher, I asked her to teach exactly like me. Here's the curriculum. This is how you do a puppet show. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And she really struggled with that for the first year because it wasn't her teaching style. Okay. So she couldn't teach like me. But guess what? We had a talk after that first year, or maybe several months in, and she said, Joy, this isn't quite working out for me. Can I do it my way? And I'm like, awesome, go for it. Because at that point I had trust with her, right? I said, go for it. And she blew me away. She was way better than me. She was an amazing preschool teacher in her own way, right? And so me trying to micromanage her and make sure that she had the vision and executed everything the same way I did was not conducive to like anything being helpful. It was not growing our preschool. Okay. And so instead, this is what I recommend to everybody. All right. Okay. I recommend as soon as possible, take that teacher hat and give it to somebody else as soon as possible. At first, I want you to be the teacher, owner, and director because I want your hands in all the things because you're going to know how that works. And you're not going to say, oh, well, you don't hire a director right away because then you're like, oh, well, they can't get kids signed up. So what's the problem, right? No, I want you to have hands in everything at first. Then once your preschool's rolling, once you have your niche, and guys, your vision of your preschool program comes directly from you. You don't have to it's how you speak to your families. It's how you speak to your teachers. It will just flow through you naturally. So there's not really a way to make people believe in a vision other than you have to just share from your heart how you want your preschool to help the community, period. Guys, that's it. Okay. It doesn't have to be this giant thing. Like, how do they get involved in this vision or something? Okay. Okay. Let's dive in. Let's do a question from TikTok. Okay, here we go. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is a great question. SB Shell, for online preschools, do most people have parents buy materials or do people ship them to families? I love this question. And of course, we talk more about it in our book, which I'll be diving into in just a minute. But with online preschool, you have two options, three. Do you have three options? I don't know. Let's go through them. Number one, you can do no materials required, period. And you can just have it be simple things that they have around the house. In fact, our curriculum, give me 1 second. Don't leave. Okay. I've got something I want to show you. Don't leave. Okay. Sorry. I had to have my props. Here I am. Did you leave? My 59 amazing people. So I'm Joy Anderson. We're helping you learn how to start preschools, not daycare, so that you can stay home with your kiddos and create a consistent income. Okay. I don't teach women how to start daycare businesses. So don't give me questions about that because that's not me. What I brought over, guys, was Preschool in a Box. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Anyways, this is our training materials on how to start your preschool. But what I wanted to answer, because we've got SB Shell's question about online preschool, guys. She asked, how do you do your preschool classes And of course, we have curriculum inside Preschool in a Box, right? But she asked, like, how do we do the online classes? Okay. Are there materials that are required? So here's the thing. In all of our curriculum, it's actually for local and online. We have versions for local and online. This is the physical, but it also comes with the digital components too. So you have all your videos and everything like that too. Everything that we have in here, we actually have like lists of materials. And so for instance, let's look at arts and crafts. Okay. Make a straw art project. This is for the wind lesson. I just literally just opened it up. It says all you need is construction paper, crayons, straws for each child, light blue paint. So that's pretty common materials, except for the straws. You know, people might not have that in their home. So you can do things a couple different ways. You could either make it where it's completely open. A lot of people don't need to have extra materials. Personally, I prefer that. That's just my preference. I actually dislike shipping out material kits, because what if it gets lost in the mail? And then, in fact, we had one of our preschool all-stars who was shipping out a lot of preschool kits, and like 100 or so got lost in the mail. I don't even know how many. And that was pretty difficult, right? Because now all the students don't have their materials. So how do you teach your class when you got like all these fancy materials? You're doing a project, they don't have them. So you're going to start wasting some money on lost shipping, having to reship it out. Oh crap, I didn't buy the materials. Now I go back to the store because I didn't buy enough for extras. Now I got to pay priority mail shipping or overnight shipping so the kid can have this 20-cent materials in their hands. You see what I'm saying? So I actually dislike that, which is why our curriculum works so well, because it's typically things they have around the house. However, you can ship kits. There's obviously, I just told you some of the concerns that go with that. And then lastly, another option is to give parents a list of materials that they can buy. Personally, I also don't recommend that, because as a parent, that's just me. I mean, maybe some parents I'm sure love this, but I personally dislike anything that I have to go buy materials for. In fact, my kiddos got one of their Christmas presents was like this baking kit. And I was like so over the moon about it, because like my daughter loves to bake and I love her to bake, but I dislike having her I just like having to have the materials, the food that is like specific to the ingredients, right? Like, so for instance, she got this. I was so excited because it came with the materials, or so I thought. It came with the ingredients. I was like, okay, making sure it all came with the ingredients. Cool. Then I'll buy the subscription for her, and bought a year's worth. And it comes here, right? And it's like, okay, cool. And it's like all the stuff that is very common. I'm sorry, no. All the stuff that is common, like water. Obviously, I have that at home. They're not going to ship water. But then it had some ingredients that were in the kit. And then it said, oh, and also be sure to buy molasses. And I'm like, I don't have molasses at home. Why did you not put it in the kit? Like, that is clearly an ingredient that is difficult and not usual in a home. So that's why, and I actually just refunded the whole thing. I shipped it back to them. I just read the box. It was totally unopened. And I shipped it back and got a refund. I just was not wanting to have to buy some stuff. So that's my point. You have a couple different options. That's a cool thing. The good news is that you guys are in charge. You can choose the way you want to do it. Don't forget, where's my book? We're going to be reading my book in just a second. That's going to answer a lot of your questions. Okay. This is going to help you learn how to start your online or your local preschool. Let's go to a question from our Facebook land and see who's on here. So this question is coming from over here. Let's see. It's so fun to see everybody. Welcome, everybody. This is awesome. Okay. So, and let me see if this is the first time I've ever gone live on YouTube. So this is exciting. Oh, good. 7 people are watching me on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Good to see you, my friends. Let me see if we have any questions over there. And good. I paused it. Okay. Oh, hi, Tracy Jones. Yay. So guys, post your questions in YouTube and I'll be able to see them now. Can you use different curriculums in your program? 100%. You're in charge. Again, this is your program, right? We use our curriculum as the foundation because it's done for you. It's ready to go. Hi, Brenda Richards on YouTube. Good to see you, friend. TikTok, Facebook, we're all here. So you can use our curriculum for just like the foundation. The great news is there's like almost no prep. Like you could look at the entire 2.5-hour lesson plan or 30-minute lesson plan for online. You could look at it in like 5 minutes, know what you're supposed to do, get your prep materials in that 5 minutes and be ready to teach. It's fabulous, right? Everybody who is one of my preschool all-stars, either on any platform that you guys are watching on, post in the comments if you guys love my curriculum and Preschool in a Box. So what we always recommend is use our curriculum for your foundation, and then you can always add fun elements. We also love handwriting without tears. All of my teachers give us some shout outs for handwriting without tears. I love that curriculum so much because, I'm not going to go reinvent the wheel, right? Like they have a fabulous writing program. Let's go let them do that. So I'm going to add that to my program, right? So but we want the foundation. We need, like, how do you teach an actual online or local preschool class? For 2.5 hours local or 30 minutes online? And how do you teach ages 3 to 5? How do you differentiate your teaching? What themes do you teach, right? How do you keep it exciting and hands-on and developmentally appropriate? And all of that is covered in our curriculum. So, and then you can just add little elements. Kids Care Plus, good to see you. Okay, friends, we're coming back over for a question over in Facebook land. Let's see here. And this question is coming from, hi, Tarina Leach. Good to see you. So she asked, do you have any tips for organization, such as paperwork, class schedules, enrollment? Should I get an LLC at this stage? And then I love that Jenna Ray said, hey, wait until you start the challenge and to get your LLC. Good job, girl. So what are we talking about? We do have a free challenge coming up. It starts tomorrow. It's a 7-day challenge. It is free. It's going to help you learn how to start your online or local preschool and overcome the fear that you have and answer all your questions. How is this going to work for me? And in fact, we will even help you to sign up your first 7 students or your next 7 students. I know it's insane. People are like, what? Yes, it really works. We've done this. This is our 4th time now. And I would love to share just some of the results really quick before I answer Tarina's question. And in fact, let me just pull up, where can I find this the easiest, fastest way? In my downloads folder. Okay, so I got some of our stats really quick, just a couple success stories. I thought this would be fun to share really quick. Okay, so we've got, in fact, I think I can flip the camera. Oh, this is going to be fun. I don't know. Can I do this? Let's see. Can I go to back to back? I'm trying to see how I could do this here. We're going to figure this out. Here we go, because I've got some stuff on the screen I'd love to show you. Okay, so let me go back to here and share my screen. Yeah, we're doing it. Sweet. Okay. Get a couple things off my screen, though, probably just to be safe. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Thanks for being so patient with me, guys. You're awesome. This is not as easy as it looks to go live and do things simultaneously. Surprise, surprise. Okay, here we go. And share that screen for everybody to see. And then TikTok, I'm going to share my screen too, so you guys can see too. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Sweet. Oh, guess what? Yeah, come on. You know how it is whenever you share screen for the first time. I don't know. I don't think I'm sharing the screen here. Okay, well, sorry, Facebook and YouTube. I guess TikTok gets the benefit over here for a second, but I will try one more time. No, I don't want to leave that site. Whew, that's scary. Okay, well, it is what it is. So TikTok, good for you. Here we go. Let me at least, can I flip this? How do we flip these things? Man, live is hard. Live is hard, friends. I don't know. Oh, it's too stressful. Okay, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I'll just share for everybody, apparently. Okay, Ariel signed up 12 students in her preschool. Good job, lady. Let's see what else we have here. We've got Valerie signed up 27 students in 28 hours. Holy cow. We've got Cordelia signed up 10 students in 7 days. We have Keisha signed up 25 students in her K-8 private school. Sherry signed up 40 students in her micro school. We've got, let's see here. Alicia signed up 22 students in 2 months. And of course, she started first with the 7-day challenge. Vivian created a learning center because she couldn't have an actual preschool program. So she created a learning center. Jennifer signed up 7 students in 24 hours. Rita signed up 40 students in 2 months. Aisha signed up 12 students in 2 months, started, of course, with the 7 students in 7 days challenge. Monique signed up 14 students in 3 weeks. Safa signed up 100 students in 2 months. Miranda signed up 13 students in 5 days with our 7-day challenge as well. And we've got Bethany signed up 24 students in 3 months. And last but not least, Anita signed up her very first 7 students in 7 days as well. And she began 10 years ago in January. She's actually been following me for 10 years. This would be really fun. How long have you guys been following me with your like learning how to start a preschool? Hashtag brand new. If you're brand new to me and this is your very first live with me, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. Or post in the comments how many years you've been following me, right? I love this. Okay, here is another question. Oh, this is super cool. Now I can see all the questions right here. Perfect. Okay, this is awesome. Can you buy Preschool in a Box now? No, it's closed because we have well, technically you can. It's $2,000. But if you want to get the 50% off, that's when you become a Preschool All-Star. So here's how this rolls, my friends. We have our let's see, our 7-day challenge starts tomorrow. Okay, we're going to help you learn all about how to start your preschool. And then, of course, right after that comes our opening the doors for Preschool All-Stars. That's our program. That's how we can help you continue with us and start, run, and grow your preschool. And that is a ongoing program, but we close the doors for 6 months. So we've been closed this whole time. So you can go ahead and join then. That's on April 11th. But the very first thing is tomorrow with our challenge. So that's just where that goes. And then, of course, you can get Preschool in a Box half off. We'll go over all those details through the challenge. So here's what I thought would be really fun, my friends. Let me see if there's a new question over here on TikTok land. Hi, Tiffany. Good to see you. Tiffany's been here since October 2021. We got Squirrely Girl was here October 2021. I love this. Heather, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, there is a free challenge. And you guys can go to the register for the challenge at preschoolchallenge.com. Let's see. Hi, Divine Tress by T. Divine Tresses by T. Good to see you, friend. These are online preschools and also local preschools. So you can do either, which is really cool. Yes, absolutely. Okay, cool. Love this. So let's go ahead. I thought this would be super fun. I've never done this before. And I'm going to do it here, friends. If you have already read my book, you are in for a treat. I have never read it live. But I'm going to go for a Joy world record here, not a Guinness Book world record, but a Joy world record. That's my name. I'm Joy. And I'm going to read my book live. I've never done that before, but I wanted to challenge myself today. And can I tell you something? You guys might think that me going live is totally normal and totally like, oh, Joy does this all the time. Like it's not a big deal to her. You know, she's been teaching women how to start preschool since like 2009. So like this is all normal for her. And I got to tell you though, I have never been live without like I don't know, like I've never been live for so many hours, like 4 or 5 hours without trying to like sell something at the end. I'm not selling anything today, friends, but this is a really long time for me to live. But I challenged myself today to go live for 4 to 5 hours and especially to go live on our beautiful TikTok. Yes, Heather. So this is the second time I've gone live on TikTok and it makes me so nervous because I'm just putting myself out there in a land that is a little bit foreign to me, but I'm so glad everyone is here. And thank you so much for your support. So I thought it would be super fun to dive in and read my book live. And as you guys have questions, post them in the comments. If you guys are loving hearing part of this story, post them in the comments. If it was one of your favorite parts that you read, post them in the comments. Just keep the love going. I'm so excited. And then I'm going to come back after every little section here and answer questions. So stay along and I'll keep answering your questions here. Before we dive in, let's answer this question over here. For online pre-recording videos, what are the legalities for reading books from beginning to end and playing music from a CD or sharing a music and movement video? I love that. So there's 2 components of this, friends. We have to kind of ponder, are we sharing the video on YouTube? Is it public? Is that pre-recorded video? Are you putting it on YouTube? Or oh good, I'm glad you're just like doing some fun stuff, Heather. That's awesome. Yes, do it while you're scared. That's what we teach. So I'm doing this while I'm scared. Let's see. And I've never gone live on YouTube. So this is the first time, my YouTube friends, being Mom Corner. Good to see you. So yeah, that's a new thing all around here. Anyways, there's 2 components. Are you going to put your pre-recorded video onto YouTube, as we say, live so everybody can see it? That's a different requirement than if you're just going to upload it to like the Hub. The Hub is our software that we help you get your preschool website set up, and we help you have a members area so all your parents can watch your videos, etc. But anyways, What am I saying? And be sure on TikTok, follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Same thing with YouTube and Facebook. If you guys aren't following me, make sure to jump into a program somewhere that I have. I don't know. Follow me in my Facebook groups. I don't even know if I can. I guess I can post a thing. If you guys aren't in my Facebook group, go ahead and join this real quick because that's where I'll be hanging out for the next 2 weeks. I think I posted it. Cool. Yeah. Make sure you guys are in that Facebook group. I think I posted that on YouTube. I don't know where I posted this, but cool. Hopefully you guys all see it somewhere. Back to the question. If you're going to share your video on YouTube, as far as sharing other people's YouTube videos, okay, or any people's videos or their songs, that's kind of like a no-no because unless it's a private video, unless it's unlisted, because people like me create videos on YouTube, right? And it's obviously our content, right? We don't want other people to like use it, right? In the sense of like repurposing it for another video. Like that doesn't make any sense, right? So this, what you would do instead is yeah, so if you're going to put your online pre-recorded video or even a live video, whatever, onto YouTube, you should not play someone else's YouTube video while you're teaching class. So for instance, guys, this is the example. I'm recording right now. Pretend I'm recording a video right now for teaching class. And I'm like, hey, everyone, super excited to see you here. Preschoolers, I love you. I'm just going crazy here. Anyways, okay, now we're going to watch a video from, and then say such and such, person. And so let me go play it, right? And then you hop over to YouTube and you click play and you're still recording. And so the video plays and the music is playing, okay? And they're watching it because obviously you're sharing your screen during this example, or even if you're listening to the audio, and then you pause the video after it's done. You're like, wasn't that so amazing? Oh my gosh, that was so fun to learn the letter F, right? Anyways, the point is that, oh, good, Tiffany. So then what we do is in that situation, you can do that, guys. You can totally do that. You can share your YouTube videos, other people's videos. You can share them on a pre-recorded or live video. That's totally fine, but you cannot put that video that you just recorded onto YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say. So yes, you can do that, but don't stick it right back onto YouTube because YouTube's going to flag it and say, hey, wait a second, that is actually somebody else's music, okay? And that is somebody else's, I don't know what you call it, somebody else's music and their video. I don't think they were flagged for video, but they'll hear the audio. Does that make sense? So they'll say that's somebody else's, it's a copyright claim, and they'll actually pull the video down, okay? So that's a no-no. But other people, why do people create YouTube videos? It is okay to watch YouTube videos, okay? It's okay to share YouTube videos in your classes. That is okay. But you cannot just create a preschool of only YouTube videos. That in charge for it. Makes sense? People put out free content. You have to, make your own preschool classes, and you can also watch somebody's YouTube video. All right. But you got to have your own preschool program surrounded that. And that's why in our curriculum, that's why we focus on our own curriculum. And it's just, we might add in a video or two. Okay. But that is like 1% compared to the 99% that is all yours. Okay. And of course, you can upload those to the hub, etc. Hi, Bobby, Trayshawn. Good to see everybody. Good to see everyone over here too. Oh, we have 2 Tiffanys. I love it. Perfect. Friends, okay. I'm going to start reading my book. Is that cool? Is everybody kosher with that? Oh, I'm excited. You guys can get your own free copy at freepreschoolbook.com. And you asked about books. You did ask about books. So for instance, if you were reading my book, you would say, hi, I'm going to read this book called Start Your Preschool by Joy Anderson. Haha. such a dork. Anyways, so that's all you have to say, friends. That's all you have to say. Okay. Is just that. Now remember, I'm not a lawyer, so you can always, you're welcome, Trayshawn. You are, so you can always consult like an attorney about that question. But based on the many years that we have done this, that is generally the vibe, is that you just say the name of the title, say the author's name. And of course, if there's an illustrator, you can also suggest it to say the illustrator's name. So cool. I am not going to be live here tomorrow, Kids Care Plus, on YouTube, but that's because we're doing our challenge. So make sure you guys go register for our free challenge, preschoolchallenge.com. I don't know how to type in comments over to TikTok land, so my fingers can't do this. I am limited to how many cool things I can do at once, and that has hit my limit over there. So anyways, preschoolchallenge.com, you guys can go join the challenge. It starts tomorrow. It's free. It's going to help you learn how to start your preschool. But right now, my friends, I'm going to grab a big drink of water, and we're going to dive in, and I'm going to read my book. Okay. So please keep your questions going. And then I'm going to answer questions while I'm reading the book. So one second. Okay, let's dive in. I've got the book on my screen. And instead of doing this, because half my face is going to be covered, right? And then you guys are just going to see me staring over here. So what I thought I'd do is I have the ebook. I thought that'd be way more cool. You guys can still see my face and my expressions because I always talk with my hands. And that would be way more enjoyable to me than having to like turn over here and keep talking to you this way. So fun. Okay, cool. Start your preschool. The step-by-step blueprint for staying home with your children, creating a consistent income, and making a difference in children's lives. By your host, Joy Anderson. Woo-hoo. Give me a woo-woo in the comments. Okay. Now, this is so I'm just going to literally read you like everything. And again, I can't share my screen, so it is what it is. Some things you won't be able to see, but I'll like show it. I can do this. I can show you like, hey, here's a diagram or something. That's not a diagram, but you get what I'm saying. Just for like a general thing. Okay. So here we go. I'm committed, my friends. I am committed. And I hope you're committed too. You guys can do whatever you do and listen to my book in the, pretend you're listening to the audiobook right now. You guys get a free audiobook, my friends. Hello. Enjoy your day. Plus you get questions with the author. That is unheard of. Here we go. Okay. So keep your questions going and please keep the comments alive that I'm reading, because if the comments die, then guess what happens? I stop spreading these videos out to people, and I need as many people as possible to listen. So thank you, my amazing 22 people over on TikTok. I see you. And thank you over here on YouTube. I don't know how many's over here because I don't know how to find that number. I see somewhere in Facebook land, we have a lot too. So thank you, everybody. Okay. Let's dive right in. There's a quote at the very beginning, and it's a testimonial from Jenny Covington. She says, "After reading your book, I nearly cried. I had been looking for a way to stay home with my kids for so long, and here it was in front of me. God spoke to me and led my steps to you." And I firmly believe that too. My dream of becoming a teacher can finally be fulfilled through owning my own preschool. I can't thank you enough, Joy, for all you've offered to me, my future, and my family. Jenny, I love you, friend. Thank you for sharing that testimonial here. Okay, let's dive right in. Dedication to Alexis, Madison, and Ashton, who are with me from the very beginning. Those are my 3 kids and inspired this entire journey. To Sarah and Ethan, those are my other 2 kids who give me strength every day. To my husband, Michael, this is you'll find out about Michael in a second, who showed me how to love again and never gave up on me. And to my preschool all-stars who have protected our community and helped build a place I never knew could have existed. One where we are completely safe to be vulnerable, to overcome our fears, and to grow into who we're meant to be. Thank you. You are my friends. You are my family. I do this for you. Oh, Heather's going to cry. You will cry before the end of this live, Heather. Just joking. Okay. And then, of course, table of contents. We won't go into that. But I will kind of like talk about what we're going to learn, because here you are. You're with me. Okay. The table of contents, my friends, is here. Don't know if that's easy to see. But basically, it comes down to a couple sections. So section 1 is visualize your preschool. We're going to learn about the home preschool business model, discover your strengths. We're going to visualize your preschool. I don't need to do this. Section 2, we're going to define your preschool. We're going to review your qualifications and requirements. We're going to research your competition. We're going to define your preschool. Section 3, we're going to set up your preschool. We're going to get professional, prepare your finances, prepare your home. Section 4, we're going to market your preschool. We'll define your target market. We'll use free marketing strategies, and we'll use budget-friendly marketing strategies. Section 5, we're going to fill your preschool. We're going to make registration packets, schedule preschool tours, and give preschool tours. Section 6, we're going to start your preschool. Get ready before school starts. Communicate with parents and manage your preschoolers. See, this is what's cool, guys, is I can read and make mistakes, because when I was doing my audiobook, I had to redo the paragraph if I made a mistake. So this is beautiful. I would do this any day. That's what it should have been. It should have been not an audiobook. Should have been like a free video recording with mistakes. But no, our audiobook is awesome and clean. Okay. Section 7, visualize your online preschool. Now, this is what's really cool, guys. The new book, as you know, has this gold seal on it that is all about online preschool. You guys see that one there? Okay. See that somewhere? Okay. So I wrote this book earlier, and you guys will learn. I'll tell this. Okay, here we go. It'll tell you later what I did. Anyways, this section is new to the second edition, because this is the second edition of the book. Learn about the online preschool model. because you're going to visualize your online preschool. Section 7, visualize your online preschool. Learn about the online preschool model. Choose your niche. Define your preschool. Section 8, set up your online preschool. Set up your business, your online accounts, your website. Section 9, start your online preschool. Prepare to teach, market your preschool, communicate with parents. Okay. Section 10, preschool in a box. This bad boy. Holy cow, it's so big. It's so big. Okay, here we go. And then we'll do conclusion and whatever. Okay, cool. Note to my readers. This is going to explain how there is a second edition. All right, here we go. I wrote this book in January 2019, 1 year before the global pandemic of 2020 would shut down preschools worldwide. One day, preschool owners were singing and laughing with their students during circle time. The next day, they were making early morning phone calls to their preschool families, letting them know, I'm going to get so tongue-tied, letting them know they had to shut down for a short time to help flatten the curve of the number of COVID-19 cases, right? But that they would open again in a couple weeks. In the early days of the lockdown, preschool owners questioned, should I refund tuition? What is all that weird stuff? I see weird stuff flying through on the TikTok live. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'll disregard it. See if I could still see here. All right. In the early days of lockdown, preschool owners questioned, should I refund tuition for missed days? And what symptoms should I look for in my students when they return? If you guys were you a preschool owner during this time? Post in the comments if you were literally dealing with these questions at this time. But those questions soon seemed trivial as the estimated couple of weeks shutdown continued on, slowly, painfully, and with no end in sight. With the start of each new month and without being able to teach students or accept tuition payments, preschool owners soon found themselves struggling to fall asleep at night, worrying, how am I going to provide for my family? How long will this last? Will my preschool survive this? What if I lose everything I've worked so hard for? Sadly, for thousands of preschool owners across the world, the pandemic proved fatal, not just for those that lost loved ones, but for those that lost their businesses too. Many preschool owners were living paycheck to paycheck, and without that next paycheck, they quickly became trapped under a mountain of debt, which snowballed the longer the pandemic lasted. I think we can all remember how tight those times were, weren't they? Many others tried to wait it out, refusing to open until things were 100% safe and back to normal. But normal never came back, and their preschool families left them to go to other preschools who did reopen using CDC recommendations. COVID-19 claimed the lives of those businesses earlier, forcing them to shutter their doors for good, never able to recover. Thankfully, the women in my Preschool All-Stars membership program experienced a different reality. We were having conversations daily in our Facebook group as early as a month before the shutdown, brainstorming about how to ensure their preschool survived if an outbreak came into their preschool. After all, our worldwide members, we have members all over the world. We've helped create preschools all over the world. Our worldwide members had seen what was happening to their neighbors in China and Italy. It was only a matter of time before it hit the United States too. It was these very discussions that prompted me to create a new training program. I had already helped thousands of women with my Set Up Your Local Preschool in 30 Days challenge, but this soon-to-be pandemic proved that I needed to help women learn how to teach online as well. So I created the Set Up Your Online Preschool in 30 Days challenge. On March 16th, 2020, after COVID-19 was officially labeled a pandemic and the government forced preschools in America to close, were you there? Did that happen to you? My Preschool All-Stars were ready. Were you a Preschool All-Star back then? Let me know, hashtag PAS, if you were a Preschool All-Star when we walked you through that process. With the training they received inside my online preschool challenge, my Preschool All-Stars successfully navigated the worldwide shutdown of local preschools by simply making their teaching virtual. They kept their preschool students learning, kept their families' income intact, and more importantly, kept supporting their preschool families and students with a semblance of normalcy during an otherwise chaotic, nerve-wracking, and uncertain time. In turn, when every other preschool in their town was closed, they were the only preschool that was still open, albeit virtual. That fact alone raised their status, making them the go-to preschools in their area. When summer came, they reopened their local preschools and summer camps under CDC recommendations. In the fall, they opened they opened to full classes with waiting lists. You see, when you have a preschool that can operate both locally and online without a hiccup, you have a preschool that can withstand literally any catastrophe, including a global pandemic. With schools everywhere shutting down, the worldwide education landscape was changing as well. Parents' eyes were slowly being opened. Education could look different than what they were used to, right? Remember that? I mean, we were so like, what is Zoom? And all of a sudden, Zoom became a 24/7 normal thing in our life. So, and like it or not, the parents had just been placed in the driver's seat of their children's educational success. Online learning was now normalized and even accepted. Let me know, hashtag Zoom in the comments if you guys have ever had your kiddos be on a Zoom. Okay, I have. Let's see. Almost overnight, everyone became familiar with Zoom and Google Meet, and families started looking online. Think of OutSchool, right? For opportunities for their children to learn. And that's when we realized this wasn't just local preschool owners finding success going through our new online preschool challenge. Some women realized it was easier for them to start an online preschool than it was to start a local preschool. After all, with an online preschool, they didn't need a license, a specific degree or experience, or even a physical location. In truth, all they needed to teach online was a computer and an internet connection. Suddenly, women without a preschool were going through our challenge and starting not just online preschools, but also online classes for art, Spanish, Arabic, kindergarten, dance, tutoring, virtual learning assistance, sign language, and more. So even though my challenge covered how to teach preschool online, they realized my training helped them to set up any type of online class. Whatever their passion or hobby or talent was, there was a worldwide market ready to enroll in their class. Let's see, I lost my spot. We talked about that. These women realized they weren't held back anymore by limitations, and they found massive success teaching online. Post in the comments who is teaching online right now or who is teaching local preschool right now. 6 months after preschools were forced to shut down, my Preschool All-Stars preschools were stronger than ever. Many of them operate a local preschool as well as an online preschool class for extra income. Most importantly, though, they know how to immediately transition their local classes online if needed. And many others are teaching a variety of online classes only because teaching online is perfect for their family's situation right now. Because of the success they found with their online preschools, and because learning how to teach online has proved to be such an essential skill, I decided to update this book and create the second edition to include sections 7, 8, 9 for online preschool. They cover the steps you need to take to set up your online preschool, market your classes, and teach online, whether that's with a preschool class or a different hobby that you're passionate about. So now, to find the best success with this book right here, I invite you to read this book from the start to the end. I'll read it to you. Learning about both local and online preschools to see which one is best for you. So I wonder. And by the way, what are you doing right now? Hashtag online? Are you doing hashtag local or hashtag both? Or which one do you think you might want to do? Now it says, please don't skip sections 7 through 9 if you're considering doing local preschool. And don't skip ahead to section 7 if you only want to do online preschool. You got to listen and read the whole book to understand both options fully. And lastly, don't try to start both at the same time. That will just make you overwhelmed. One sec. And then once you have finished this book, once you finish listening, or at any time if you're overwhelmed and need support, I invite you to join our Preschool All-Stars membership. Now, right now it's closed, but you can get into our preschoolchallenge.com. That is open, starts tomorrow. And then Preschool All-Stars will open up right after that, okay? So it's coming up. There, you'll personally witness the beautiful discussions that happen in there every day. It truly is the best place to be, right? As it's full of hundreds of like-minded preschool owners on the same journey as you. All-Stars, show up in the comments. Do you love Preschool All-Stars? Ready to support you, cheerlead you on, answer your questions as you start, run, and grow your preschool. It's also the only place that I hang out online, so I can't wait to have you guys join us. Now, so think about it, right? Right now, I'm live here, but that's because we're trying to ramp up for our preschool challenge, right? Which starts tomorrow. And so after the challenge, we all leave. We go back to the Preschool All-Stars group and we hunker down and help everyone there. So that's where I typically am for like 6 months out of the year there. Okay. So when you join Preschool All-Stars, you'll also get access to one of our free 30-day challenges to help you set up your local or online preschool. Inside your challenge, you're going to get the step-by-step instructions, detailed training videos, and done-for-you tools that you'll need to successfully start your local or online preschool. Oh, and dare I forget to mention that when you join Preschool All-Stars, you'll also have a chance to win a preschool in a box. This thing right here. What? And even, yeah, super exciting. So what's preschool in a box, you ask? It's pretty much the one thing I wished I had when I started my preschool all those years ago, as it would have helped me to start my preschool quick and easy without wasting time or money doing the wrong things. If you guys love preschool in a box, post in the comments. You love it. But you'll learn all about that in our book. So here we go. And just in case you don't win Preschool in a Box, you'll get an exclusive 50% off discount for it. Eek! I can't wait to get it in your hands. After all, it's not a matter of if you'll get a Preschool in a Box, it's a matter of when you'll get Preschool in a Box and how much you'll pay for it. After all, it's literally the one thing that our Preschool All-Stars point to as being the reason why they are so successful. So you'll definitely want to join Preschool All-Stars. On April 11th, you can go to preschoolallstars.com. Somebody post that in the chat somewhere as soon as possible to either win it or get a discount on it. Of course, we open that April 11th. Okay. Last but not least, when you join Preschool All-Stars, you'll also receive free access to Preschool University, my personal vault of step-by-step training videos and done-for-you files that'll help you fill your classes, be a better teacher, get a building, create more profit, hire teachers or director, streamline your tasks, create a private kindergarten, and even sell your preschool one day. As I close this note to you, I want to say one last thing. I'm incredibly grateful for the close friendships I have with all my Preschool All-Stars. I've been teaching women how to start preschool since 2009, but we didn't have this amazing community during the early years. So I can't imagine any of my preschool owners going through that lockdown alone without the support of their All-Star sisters. Our daily discussions allow us to immediately find solutions for any problems that come up, whether that's as small as how to sign up students or as large as how to survive a global pandemic. Our trials bring us closer, and I'm proud to say that Preschool All-Stars are not just my students, they are my family. And I'm not just their mentor, I'm their friend. And I can't wait for you to join our Preschool All-Stars family so I can support you on our journey and help you stay home with your kids. Are you ready to dive in? Hashtag dive in if you guys are ready. I'm going to continue. Here we go. But before I do, let me see if there was any questions. Don't forget to post questions if you guys have any. You're welcome for answering your question. Okay, let's see if there's any questions over here. Okay, we're going to go ahead. Oh, I love this. We've got Heather says, All-Stars has been my saving grace these last 6 months. Help me get back to living. I hear you, friend. Oh, yes. Love this, love this. Okay, perfect. Okay, ready to dive in. All right, cool. So if you have questions, post them, and then I'll come back after each chapter and answer them for you. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of water. Continue. Okay, what is Start Your Preschool? What the heck does that mean? Hi, my name's Joy Anderson, and I can't wait to dive right into this book with you. But before we do, I wanted to explain what this book is about, and more importantly, what it's not about. This book is not just another work from home book. If you're looking for a book that will help you start a daycare, create only a few $100s each month, or will require you to sell to your friends and family, this book will not help you. On the other hand, Start Your Preschool will help you to spend quality time with your kids while you work without having to start a daycare, create a supplemental or full-time consistent income that works around your family schedule. Doesn't that sound good? Without working full-time hours or leaving your house. Fill your classes so you can fulfill your dream of making a difference in children's lives, even if you don't have a teaching degree or have never taught preschool before. Discover your talent so you can confidently build a strong, stable business that will generate income for your family for years to come, even if you don't know anything about business. If you guys want all this, hashtag want this, right? Make teaching a career so you can finally get paid what you're worth without having to put your kids in daycare. And finally, create a fabulous preschool anywhere, even if you only have your home's living room and kitchen to work with, or even start a preschool online or inside a church or separate building. This book is also about changing lives. And in fact, tomorrow, when our preschool challenge starts, we're going to have a giant experience of changing women's lives that way as well. So, as you'll come to find out soon, every time a preschool is opened, it has the potential to change over 1,000 lives. Not only it can bless your family's life with financial freedom, greater fulfillment, and lasting happiness, but it can bless the lives of your students, their families, and the members in the community. Truly, every preschool owner becomes a life changer. The first step to changing your life and everyone else's lives is to first create a successful preschool. So, inside this book, which I'm going to keep reading to you, are you guys loving this? Oh my gosh, who sent me a rose? Mummy Cruise. I don't know what that means, but thank you, my friend. This is like my second time going live on TikTok. So, this is all very new to me. Oh, very good, very good. Okay, let's see here. Yes, that is very true. Okay, what else were we talking about here? Inside this book. Inside this book, you'll find the step-by-step blueprint. I'm reading the book literally right now to you. We created after helping thousands of women start their own successful preschools over the past 10 years, now 13. As Kelly Elmore once said, quote, "Life is like a steering wheel. It only takes one small move to change your entire direction. Starting a preschool can change your life, and getting this book is that small move." Okay, friends, here we go. Introduction. Now let's bring it down a notch. Here we go. This is my story. Okay. I sat in front of the family computer, paralyzed with anxiety. On the screen, an Excel spreadsheet revealed my despair. After entering my husband's paychecks and all our living expenses into our budget for the month, we would be short $287. As a cold fear surrounded me, I tried desperately to find categories where we could cut expenses, but every bill was a fixed amount. You ever been there? The only wiggle room we had was in our food budget, but we had already cut it so many times before, and I could only get so creative with pasta. I knew at that moment I couldn't stand idly by and watch our credit cards slowly max out. I had to do something. But what? I truly wanted to stay home with my kids. I had 3 at the time. So I tried doing anything I could to add money to our family budget. The first real venture was Pampered Chef. Hashtag MLM. If anybody's ever done Pampered Chef or Scentsy or LuLaRoe or Avon, I don't even know all these companies, but similar to Scentsy, where you make money every time a person buys a product or signs up to sell the products. That was me. I was eager to try it out. If only I sold so many products and signed up so many other consultants, I could make a full-time income too. The reality, though, was I spent many evenings away from my family and could only earn a couple $100 a month. You been there? Hashtag been there. We were still barely making ends meet, so I tried selling clothes online. I went to my local consignment shop and took advantage of their buy a bag for $1 offer. After stuffing as much name brand clothing as I could into the bags, I would spend hours ironing clothes, taking pictures, writing listings, shipping packages. One month, I actually made $300. The highest amount I had ever made, by the way. And I said to myself, holy cow, this is awesome. But the truth was, it wasn't awesome. I wanted to feel fulfilled in other ways than just as a mother, but all this work wasn't fulfilling at all. Instead, it was consuming all my time and happiness. While I was busy trying to make $300, do you know what was happening to my kids? They were being neglected by me. My life was so chaotic that they had to color on shipping boxes just to entertain themselves while I worked. Too many times to count, I remember them coming up to me as I was working on the computer and asking, "Mommy, can you play with me?" My inevitable reply, "Not right now. Mommy's working." Now, I'm not proud of those moments, but I do value the experience. For if I hadn't gone through it, I wouldn't have created the very system that I'm going to be discussing with you in this book. It was that very experience of me feeling so much guilt over telling my kids I couldn't play with them because I was working that started this entire journey we're about to embark on. Yes, that's true. All you have to do is spend $10,000 and hit up your friends and family, says Heather over on TikTok with these MLM companies sometimes. Next section. I'm the breadwinner now. A few years later, on a warm Sunday evening in June, I shut the door to my home office and collapsed onto my office chair. We should never have bought the new house and car. We're in over our heads, I thought with resignation. Even with the increased money I was making, we still weren't able to make ends meet. I knew why I had come into the office. I was hiding, trying to avoid my reality. I felt a tightness in my chest and a feeling of pending doom, as if my family could be torn apart at any moment. Our debts had pushed us to the brink, and stress levels had risen to an all-time high. After years of trying to hold on to a failing marriage, I felt like I was losing my grip. My marriage was falling apart, and I felt helpless to save it. It was then that a thought came to me, so clearly and profoundly that I could not doubt it. Joy, this is your life, and it will not change. Have you ever had a moment in your life where you convinced yourself that sometime in the future, your life was going to change? Your life was going to get better. That's what I had done. I had convinced myself for 8 years that my life was going to get better, that my marriage could be saved. But you know what? I finally got the realization that very day it was not going to change. I knew I had to be the one to make the change. I needed to leave. Post in the comments, have you ever had a time where you realized you have to be the one to make a change in your life, right? For the better. As soon as I processed that thought that I was going to take my kids and leave my 8-year marriage the next day, I found myself scared out of my mind, not for me, but for my kids. I had no idea how to support them. I wanted to show you a picture right here in the book. Where is it? Oh, it was in a corner. Here it is. Okay. So here are my 3 kiddos. Kind of hard to see on TikTok land. There we go. Maybe you guys can see that. So that evening, no, hold up. But I knew one thing for sure. I needed to be there for my kids. I had no doubt about that. Knowing that they were going to be put through hell in the upcoming days, weeks, months, and possibly even years, I wanted to give them one last opportunity to just be kids before their lives were turned upside down. So that evening, I took my 3 kids to the park next to our house. Wanting to remember them in a state of happiness, I tried to mentally capture the absolute joy and complete innocence of their faces. They had no idea how their lives would change the very next day. As I sat on the park bench, watching them gleefully shout and play, I was acutely aware of the daunting task ahead of me. I would be raising my 3 children alone, and I didn't have a job. I'm the breadwinner now, I thought fearfully. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so have you ever been in that moment where you had to figure out how are you going to create income, right? That was me. It's a scary feeling, isn't it, friends? I thought I only had 2 options. I think we all know them by heart, who are stay-at-home moms or women who just have kiddos and want to stay home with those kiddos. I thought to myself, Joy, how in the world are you going to support these kids? I asked myself the night before I left. The question came so forcefully that I felt almost unattached to my surroundings. My kids were playing in front of me at the park. I could clearly see them, but I was so lost in fear that I felt trapped in myself. I couldn't smile. I couldn't cry. All I could do was race through idea after idea in my mind, begging to find the solution. I knew I couldn't continue my random work from home ventures. $300 per month wouldn't pay a mortgage. In order to earn a full-time income, I thought I only had 2 options, and I wasn't okay with either of them. First, I could get a job. When I thought of what I would put on my resume, though, I found myself without any real work experience for the past 8 years. Hashtag SAHM. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you know that drama, right? The idea of getting a full-time job quickly vanished when I remembered something else. My primary goal was, when I became a mother, was not to climb the corporate ladder. It was to stay home with my kids, raise them, and teach them. So when I thought of having to send them to daycare, I made an audible gasp as the thought ripped at my heart. I couldn't even fathom being gone from my children all day, not when they needed me more than ever. Not to mention, I'd be shelling out most of my paycheck just to pay the huge daycare bill. Have you ever been there? Hashtag bill. There's got to be a way to stay home and make a full-time income, I thought, frustrated. I thought of the second option. Home daycares were the only work-from-home business I knew of that brought in a decent pay and let you stay home with your kids. But then I remembered my sister, who had started a home daycare a few years earlier. She was utterly drained every single day after working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and managing all the needs of the different age groups. On top of that, she told me she struggled to really be there for her family in the evenings because she was so exhausted from working all day. I knew it took the patience of a saint to do daycare, and I applauded her ability to do it so well. I tried to picture myself doing it well, but then I thought of my kids. I pictured the sadness they would soon feel. How could they heal if they had to share me with 7 other kids for 12 hours each day? I was out of options. I could feel my body weakening, sitting heavier and heavier on the park bench as utter despair filled every ounce of my body. I thought back over my experiences from the past 8 years, pleading to find some knowledge somewhere that would lead me to a third option, an option where I could stay home with my kids, provide for them, and really be there for me, be there for them when they needed me. It was at that exact moment of desperation that I remembered an experience from 2 years before. At the time, my oldest daughter was 4 years old. Wanting to ensure she was prepared for kindergarten, I tried to enroll her in a preschool. But all I found were daycares with preschool classes. As I didn't need a daycare, I reached out to 3 of my neighborhood friends with preschool age kids. We decided to teach a co-op preschool instead. Hashtag co-op if anybody's done that one. Each mom would take a turn teaching preschool at her house for 1 week. Then she would get the other 3 weeks off. Well, I noticed 4 things as the school year progressed. None of us wanted to put our kids in a daycare and preschool. I really enjoyed teaching preschool. I really enjoyed when my daughter went to preschool at someone else's house. My friends were beginning to lose interest teaching their week. As I pondered all these ideas, I had an epiphany that shocked me from my state of hopelessness and into a state of jittery excitement and hope. I had found my third option. What if, my mind raced, I taught all of the preschool classes and charged a monthly tuition? Moms already want to send their kids to preschool and they would love some time to themselves. They don't want a daycare, they're looking for strictly a preschool. What if I started a preschool instead of a daycare and only taught preschool classes for a few hours each day? That way, my kids could come to preschool with me, still get a quality education, and have fun with me. Remember? At the same time, I'm working. I could run it at the same time as the school year, so I could guarantee my income for 9 to 10 months. This is genius, I thought. I shot off the bench, my body buzzing from adrenaline, so excited I had finally found a solution. I ran over to my kids and gathered them into a giant bear hug. I was so happy I started crying. I knew the road was going to be uphill, but I had faith it would all work out. Little did I know that the process would end up being so difficult that had I known how challenging it would be, I might never have even started. I spent the next month preparing for my big adventure of starting my own preschool. I drove through subdivision after subdivision, trying to find just the right one for my preschool. By July, I had found my future home. It was perfect for my family, and it was perfect for my preschool. I spent hours painting my garage walls, buying supplies and furniture, and setting up a playground in our backyard. It seemed everything was coming together perfectly. But when I tried to research further on how to set up my preschool business, I struck out. I checked online, in the library, and even asked my friends and family. Apparently, either no one else had thought of the idea or no one else was teaching how to do it because I came up with nothing, nada, zilch. Not even one Starting a Preschool for Dummies book. I like to think this is my Starting a Preschool for Dummies book. That's when I realized this plan of mine might be doomed from the very beginning. All I could find, and let me know if this has been your experience too, back before I came around, if all you could find was info on how to start a daycare, just say yep in the comments. So all I could find was info on how to start a daycare business. After reading a few of those books, I quickly realized that daycares and preschools had nothing in common, with the exception that they both were businesses that serve children. That's very little, isn't it? It's like saying a dance business is the same as a preschool business. I knew I had come too far, though, to turn back. As a newly single mom, my kids needed me more than ever. I couldn't give up everything and just put them in daycare, and I wasn't about to start a daycare either. To top it all off, my mortgage was due in a month. From the moment I signed the loan documents, that clock started ticking. I worked like my home was connected to a bomb and the fuse had just been lit. I had 30 days to set up my preschool, or my life, as I knew it, would blow up. I had worked so hard to make a better life for my children. I couldn't give up then. I was all in. I had no fallback plan. It had to work. I had to sign up 24 students. I hadn't sent out resumes anywhere. I had to figure it out, even if that meant doing it all on my own. For the next 30 days, I fought like my family's life depended on it, because it did. I had so many questions, and I'm sure that you have these exact same questions. How much should I charge? Do I have to be licensed? Do I need a specific degree? How am I going to pay for all this? What about the IRS? How do I get a business bank account? What should I teach? How should I teach? How should I advertise? How do I get families to sign up? What do I do once they do sign up? The list got longer every day. And after I answered one question, 5 more questions popped up. Before you found me and you were on your own journey to start your preschool, did this exact same thing happen to you? Right? Same. I knew one answer for sure, though. I had to be licensed in my situation. But the problem was I couldn't get a solid answer from anyone about how to do a preschool in my home. I got the runaround from every agency I called, from state licensing to permits to my subdivision's HOA. I felt like I was speaking another language when I tried to explain how my preschool didn't fit into their daycare requirements, right? Same. Let's see. Let me look over here on Facebook land really quick. We still all here? Yes, everybody's still here. I love you. Thank you for being here. So they literally didn't know what to do with me. Eventually, I submitted my applications and hoped it would all work out. I couldn't start my preschool without that license because I wanted to have 12 students in my school that year, in each class, and I hoped it would all work out. I couldn't start my preschool. We just said that. So I was afraid to sign anybody up. What if I didn't get it before preschool started? Or even worse, what if I didn't get it at all? I tried to do the other 100 steps to get my preschool set up, but in the end, I did almost every step wrong and out of order. If I could have gone back, I would have done it so differently. I just didn't have anyone to tell me what to do and when. So I wasted tons of time and money doing the wrong thing. Hashtag wrong things, right? My credit card was almost maxed out with all the errors I was making. By the way, Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, make sure you guys are giving the loves and posting in the comments. That helps my videos to go out to more people so we can change more lives. Eventually, I finished getting my preschool ready, but I couldn't move forward. All my progress came to a grinding halt. Without my license, I couldn't start my preschool. So I hadn't enrolled any students. I had no clue when they would approve me. I called every morning, but the answer was always, not yet. I couldn't sleep. The fuse was getting shorter and time was running out. Finally, 1 week before my mortgage was due, I got the news I had been waiting for. Yes, your license is approved. I was so ecstatic I could hardly contain myself from shouting out with gratitude. But as soon as I got off the phone, reality came crashing down with a weight so hard my knees almost buckled. I had 1 week before my mortgage was due. I hadn't even signed up any students yet. I had 1 week to sign up 24 kids. How in the world was I going to do that? This was it. It was all or nothing. I took my preschool flyer to my local copy shop. I asked Mark his name. I don't know if I put it in the book, but his name's Mark. I lose my voice. I asked him to print 2,000 flyers on bright yellow paper. I had no idea if 2,000 flyers would do the trick, but it maxed out my credit card, so it had to be enough. That evening, I pushed 2 very heavy boxes. Hashtag flyers if you guys have done the flyer method. I pushed 2 heavy boxes full of flyers into my kitchen and showed my children how to trifold them. We folded for hours, and then I kept folding all night while they slept. In the morning, we crowded into my little car with yellow flyers seemingly stuffed into every crevice, and we set off to deliver all 2,000 flyers to every home in every subdivision in my town. I remember how scared I was to talk to anyone about my preschool. What if I wasn't good enough? Are these thoughts going through your head? Did they go through your head? What if I wasn't good enough? What if they didn't like me? What if they didn't sign up? I knew, though, that in order for my family's life to change, I had to push my fear down and just do it, right? I wouldn't get results without action. There's a reason why Nike's motto is just do it, right? And then on that very first day, in the midst of delivering flyers, I heard the sweetest sound. My phone rang. Hi, I just got your flyer. This person said, do you have any spots left? A woman asked when I answered it. My phone kept ringing for the next few days until my spots were full. As I went to bed a few days later, having put all the registration fees into my bank account that day, I finally got a full night's sleep, knowing that my mortgage was paid, My mortgage would be paid and my family would be okay. My little home preschool began that year with just 24 adorable preschoolers. Every morning, my kids would excitedly come say to me, "Let's go welcome the preschoolers." I was finally able to stay home with my kids, spend quality time with them while I worked, offer them a fantastic preschool education, create a schedule that worked with my family, spend more time with my family, find fulfillment and joy as a teacher, and create a consistent full time income. Hashtag want that if that's what you want in your life too. I later remarried. I've got a little picture here. And my husband and I welcomed 2 more children into our family. Let me show you a picture of our one of our pictures here. So several years ago, but because the book was printed several years ago, there's our family. With our increased financial freedom, we love building our savings, taking family trips, and traveling all around the world. Over the next 10 years, we grew into 2 locations, taught over 1,000 students, employed over 50 teachers, and improved our community by offering preschool, kindergarten, and also all-day preschool classes. We also became the largest private preschool in Idaho that was not a daycare. In those first 10 years, our preschool made $1.75 million, an accomplishment that still shocks me to this day, somebody who did not have the right degree or the right experience. And it all started from my decision to start a little home preschool. Guys, my eye is just going crazy right now. These bangs. If I was not doing this live, my bangs would be up, my hair would be in a messy bun. So yay for you. But this is why. Okay. What I could not foresee from that one decision so many years ago, though, was the impact that my preschool would have on so many others' lives, including yours who is watching this right now. Not only did my preschool change my life, but it also changed everyone's life it touched. So I can clearly see now that every time a preschool is opened, it changed so many lives, from blessing the owner's family with happiness and financial freedom, to blessing the students' lives with friends and a greater ability to succeed in life, to blessing the teachers' lives with fulfillment and financial security, and to blessing the community with access to quality early childhood education. Truly, every preschool owner becomes a life changer. Yes, classic, my signature look. This one or the bangs up hair messy bun. I think that one. That's my classic look. Because I know the power that each preschool has to change thousands of lives. I've been on a mission to help women start their own preschools. I vowed to never let another woman go through that same painful process that I went through. I wanted every woman to know that there was a third option. They could start a preschool, and I would teach them how. I know exactly how to help you because I've been in your shoes before. As you'll see in this book, I've not only created my own successful preschool and learned along the way exactly what works and doesn't work, but I've also helped thousands of women start their own successful preschools using my training inside Preschool in a what? Box. I'm going to do that every time. By seeing so many women from different walks of life go through this process, I've been able to see firsthand exactly what is needed to create a successful preschool, regardless of their education, experience, or location. In fact, we've helped over 5,000 women create successful local and online preschools. I can assure you, I have seen it all when it comes to women wanting to start a preschool. And as much as you'd like to think your case is unique and for whatever reason you won't be able to start a preschool because of such and such reason, I've heard that excuse before too. And yes, I call it an excuse because you're allowing it to limit your success. And sometimes I'm going to give you some straight talk. So if you have any roadblocks that are preventing you from moving forward, I will give you the dynamite that you need to blow them up so you can move forward. I promise if you give me your full attention while you listen to me reading this book, and if you join our Preschool All-Stars, I'll show you exactly how a preschool business will work for you and your family, and I'll help you set it up too. I believe in you. You can do this, all right? How to read this book. I wrote this book because it was necessary. This knowledge can't stay in my head. It must be shared. As long as there is a woman wanting to stay home and make a consistent income, I will be there offering assistance. This book right here is the book I wish I could have read when I tried to start my preschool. It would have saved me from making so many countless mistakes and wasting tons of time and money. It's my hope that with this book, you won't have to struggle like I did. Now, if by chance you're reading this book and you've already started your preschool without my training, you still need this book, okay? So many preschool owners started their preschools without my training and are now frustrated because they're not getting paid enough. They're stressed out because they're doing all the work themselves and their classes aren't full, right? I've seen that too many times. I suggest you go through my training from the ground up. Yes, that includes joining Preschool All Stars to create a successful preschool. Becky and Jamie changed just one policy in their school and were able to net an extra $40,000 in 1 year. Just one policy, guys. Anita increased her tuition and made an extra $5,000 in 1 year. Trust me, everything I teach is for your benefit, so be sure that you're starting on the right foundation. The great news is that when you join Preschool All Stars, you're going to be surrounded by hundreds of like-minded, successful preschool owners ready to cheerlead you on. As a Preschool All Stars member, you'll also have exclusive access to Preschool University, my private library of training videos and done-for-you files to continue supporting you on every milestone of your journey. As you'll soon learn, I always over-deliver to my Preschool All Stars, and I can't wait for you to join us. And now let's get started. I do have a personal recommendation for how you listen to this book. Don't skip ahead. Yeah, you can't fast forward me. Okay, we'll maybe skip that. But every section builds on information from the previous section. So to skip around would be doing you a disservice. I got to get a drink, my friends. Please post your questions in the comments because the bangs. Thanks, Nicole. So I am going to answer is it Nicole or Sharice? Let me know which one in the comments. I'm going to answer your questions as soon as I get to the end of this section. So post your questions right now, everybody. I might have to fill this up several times. Okay, let's see what's next. The book is divided into several sections. Section 1 and 2 are essential to understanding the foundation of the home preschool business model. In them, you'll see what's worked for my preschool owners, and I will help you figure out what classes to teach, when to teach them, what to charge, and how many students to enroll in each class. Once your business plan is set, you'll move to section 3, where you set up your preschool. You'll go through all the steps for starting a preschool, getting professional, setting up your preschool space, and preparing your finances. Of all the sections I teach, sections 4 and 5 are the most vital to your success because you can't run a preschool if you don't have any students. I not only teach you the best free and budget-friendly marketing strategies to advertise your preschool, I also explain how to convert your prospects into signups, right? Without any selling required. In section 6, you'll learn how to communicate with your preschool parents, set clear expectations, manage your preschoolers, and have a great preschool year. In sections 7 through 9, I teach you how to start an online preschool if you choose to do so. Now, local preschools should know how to do both local and online preschool in case you have to quickly make the switch. Finally, in section 10, I share with you an easier way to get your preschool started. I see women get tripped up all the time with doubting themselves, right? Hashtag doubt if you have had some doubt in your life, doubting themselves and not being able to complete each step. So I want you to skip the hard stuff and just make it quick and easy on yourself. Read the book from the beginning to the end. Remember, that's why I'm going to do this. I'm going to read the book from the beginning to the end to fully grasp the big picture and see whether a local or online preschool option is better for you. This book was organized in the exact order it takes you to start a preschool, with the right steps done in the right order. So unless you like wasting time and money, I don't. Don't skip steps, don't jump around, okay? Now, caveat or insert this statement here. Everybody go to preschoolchallenge.com. If you are not registered yet for my free challenge, it starts tomorrow. Okay, so TikTok land, make sure you head over there too. And let's continue. Because in our challenge, we're going to help you. We're going to walk through the whole process of starting your preschool. Which one's right for you? The local, the online, how's it going to work? The class structure, what hours do you teach? How much do you charge? All of it. Okay. We'll walk you through that in a very, very step-by-step, easy to follow, super supported with all of our staff and all of our team, and our preschool all-stars will all support you. And it's going to be starting tomorrow. So it's awesome. We only do it live 2 times a year. Okay. Here we go. When you're finished reading the book, or if at any point you're feeling overwhelmed and need support, or if you're ready to jump right in, I invite you to join our Preschool All-Stars to help you set up your local or online preschool. I've created a special invitation where, you guys know it, preschoolallstars.com. So I'll drop that link right there, preschoolallstars.com. Now, again, we're closed right now, right? But we will open after the challenge. So as a Preschool All-Stars member, you'll receive access to a bonus 30-day challenge that'll guide you step-by-step with training videos and will fast-track your success by providing with done-for-you files, website templates, and more. On top of that, every Monday during the challenge, you can ask me a question, and I'll go live answering it. I normally charge $1,000 an hour to jump on a one-on-one call, but you'll get my personal help for free during the challenge. So also, you might notice I refer to the business as a home preschool in some instances. While this is true for most preschool owners because most do it in their home, many of our preschool owners operate either their preschool online or from a separate building, such as a church, a schoolhouse, or even a commercial building. So all of those locations are excellent locations for your preschool. Personally, I always recommend starting in your home first. If there are different requirements for those different locations, I will specifically note that throughout the book, okay? Hashtag sounds good. If you guys are ready to dive in, make sure you post your questions right now because I'm about ready to answer them. You'll notice each section has multiple action steps. I'm not really going to go over the action steps too much, obviously, because we're not doing the steps. We're just listening right now. I guess I'll read them. But anyways, in the book, you would want to do them in order. But I'm going to suggest, actually, guys, this book is amazing if you're going to do this on your own. But the truth is, it's very hard to do it on your own. Even though I gave you everything I wished I would have had in my brain in 280 pages, there is still so much that you need done for you. And that's why we suggest Preschool All-Stars and Preschool in a Box, so we can help you through the program, okay? And we can give you take this much steps and then make them super short for you because everything's done for you. Okay, let's see. I'm reading the book. Okay, here we go. Do them all in order. After all, it's hard to set up a website or enroll students if you don't even know what your class times and tuition rates will be. Every step builds on the next, right? So in each section, you'll also get to know several of my preschool all-stars. I'm going to share their stories here. They're just a few of the thousands of amazing women who have successfully created their own preschools using my Preschool in a Box. I hope you enjoy reading their stories and learning from them just as much as you do from me. My preschool all-stars are exceptional ladies. I love ya. And I know that one day you'll have your own phenomenal story just like theirs. And once you join Preschool All-Stars and get your Preschool in a Box, you'll be well on your way. On that note, I thank you for buying this book. Just joking, you didn't buy it. I'm reading it to you for free, and I eagerly await our time together. You're about to embark on a remarkable adventure, so whether you want to start a small preschool or grow into a large preschool, I'll be with you every step of the way. Ready to get started? Yes, hashtag started. Okay, so here we go, my friends. Post your questions right here, and I'm going to answer them. I'm going to answer one off TikTok and one off Facebook Land, see if we have any here. Okay, I gotta get a drink. This is gonna be a long adventure, my friends. I am only on page 34 out of 281. A long adventure. If you completed the 7-day challenge last time, you should 100% do it again and start from day one. Knowing all you know now, it'll be even more successful for you. Let's see. Awesome. No worries, my friends. Yes, we'll see you tonight for live as well. Okay, TikTok land. What do we got over here for a question? Yes, thank you. We love all those questions over here. Any questions over here? Let's see. Yeah, it's called preschoolallstars.com. You can find more info on there, but just hang with me here for a bit. Okay, here we go. Are you guys following along on my pages? Technically, I'm going to be on page 18. That's where I'll start in the book, but in PDF land, I'm on page 35. Okay. Oh, I'm just waiting for the time when I'm just going to drip it all over myself. That will come, my friends. I guarantee it. And having said that, now I cannot worry about it anymore. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. Section 1, visualize your preschool. This is the fun stuff, right? Okay, learn about the home preschool business model. So to fully understand how you should structure your preschool to bless your community, you first need to understand more about the great need for high quality preschools in our world. Really quick, guys, I'm going to actually, one second, I'm going to not pin, whatever we would call it. I'm going to make sure that these lives are at the top of both of my groups. So give me 1 second right here. Hashtag PAS if you're a preschool all-star. Hashtag PASIT if you're a preschool all-star in training. That means you're not a preschool all-star yet. Let us know here in the comments. It's always good for me to know that. That way I know if I've got all my preschools all-stars on, or if I have, people who are not preschool all-stars yet. That's always just really good for me to know my audience and who's doing what. There's my live right there. We'll pin this here as well. Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay. To fully understand how you should structure your preschool to bless your community, first you need to understand more about the great need for high quality preschools in our world, as well as the other types of preschool programs that are readily available. So in the introduction, I shared with you how one small preschool had the power to change 1,000 lives, right? Well, can you imagine how this world would change if preschools filled every town in the world, or were available online, and every 3 to 5-year-old could attend a high quality preschool? Now, notice I did not say could attend a free preschool, okay? I'm saying, wouldn't it be amazing if every 3 to 5-year-old could attend a high quality preschool? I have different views about free preschool. You're going to hear about them here. Our past president, Barack Obama, also realizes the huge impact that a preschool education offers. In a recent speech, he said, early education is one of the best investments we can make, not just in a child's future, but also in our country. Yes, almost 100,000 likes. Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Keep it up, guys. You guys are awesome. Keep those likes going. I guess that's a good thing on TikTok land, right? Facebook, YouTube, give me some likes and hearts over there too. Helps the message go out further. Okay, Barack Obama says in a recent speech, he said, quote, early education is one of the best investments we can make, not just in a child's future, but in our country. End quote. When children ages 3 to 5 attend high quality preschools, we see dramatic and lifelong benefits, including higher attendance rates and higher grades in middle school, according to a study on the Tulsa, Oklahoma Head Start program. Similarly, Nobel Peace recipient James Heckman proved that states that invested in high quality early education spent less money on criminal justice and remedial education. Truly, the world would change dramatically for the better if more children had access to high quality preschool education. If preschool can have such positive, powerful effects, one might assume that most families would enroll their children into preschool, right? Unfortunately, no. According to a recent study from the US Census Bureau, only 54% of all children ages 3 to 4 were enrolled in a preschool. I believe that there are three main reasons, this is three, three main reasons why less than half of the nation's preschoolers are not attending school. There's three reasons. Number one, no value. Some families, regardless if they can or cannot pay, do not place a high enough value on an external early childhood education program to enroll their child. Number two, some families can't afford to, number two, no money. Some families can't afford to pay for preschool, and they don't have access to free or subsidized preschool. Number three, no options. Some families can afford to pay for preschool, but they don't want their children to attend the preschool or daycare programs in their area. Preschool target markets. I believe each of the reasons above represent a specific group of people called a target market. Now, to understand a target market, imagine I'm standing in the middle of a crowded shopping mall, holding a plate of delicious steaming cinnamon rolls above my head, okay? Most people, the no value target market, would walk on by, not even noticing me, because they had just eaten food at the food court and were full. They found no value in the food I was offering. Are we getting the analogy? Hashtag getting it. Some people, the no money target market, would smell the cinnamon roll as they passed and would want it, but ultimately they would pass on by because they didn't bring any money. But some people, the no options target market, which was number three, would see that cinnamon roll from the top of the escalator because they would be searching for a cinnamon roll to eat. And after they would see it, they would buy it right away. Now, let's talk about this no value target market number one above. They don't find value in what is being offered. Now, a quick reminder on all the platforms, really quick. Remember that I help women start preschool programs, not daycares. So I'm not talking about daycares or childcare programs or full day programs or anything like that. I'm directly talking about part-time, 2.5 hour per day preschool programs. Then the kids go home. Okay. We serve stay-at-home moms and part-time working parents. Okay. So just a quick caveat on that. That's local. And then of course, online is 30 minutes a day. Okay. So let's continue now. So number one, the no value target market. They don't find value in what's being offered, right? They either will educate their children themselves at home or they won't. Simple as that. In any case, if you showed them your preschool, they probably wouldn't care about it because they wouldn't value it. In this case of our home preschool business model, they are not your target market, okay? Number two, the no money target market. They're interested, but they're unable to take action. They'd love to put their child in a preschool program, but they can't find one that offers free or subsidized tuition in their area or online. Or if they do find one, it's full. If you showed them your preschool, they might want it, but they can't afford it. They are not your target market. Number 3, the no options target market. They are seeking a solution. They're ready to act as soon as it meets their needs. They're searching for a preschool program that meets their needs in their area. So if you showed them your preschool and it met their needs, they would enroll, right? They are your target market. Hashtag target market, put it in the comments. So the types of preschool programs out there. Thankfully, most parents will be able to find some preschool programs within their area, but as mentioned above, some of those programs are not what they're looking for. The 3 most common preschool programs in America, similar programs are also found in the world, are number 1, federally funded preschool programs offering free or sliding scale tuition rates. Number 2, state or grant funded preschool programs offering free or sliding scale tuition rates. And number 3, facility or home daycares with preschool classes offered during the day. Do you remember the target markets we discussed earlier with my story about that cinnamon roll? Each of these 3 preschool programs serve a specific group of people with a specific set of needs. What I'm proposing, as I'll show you below, coming up soon, is that there is a completely different target market whose needs are not being met with the 3 current preschool programs, and thus they need a different preschool program altogether. At the end, I'll show how strictly a preschool program offers a solution for our unique target market. Number 1, federally funded preschool programs. Remember, we just talked about those. Head Start is a federally funded preschool program in America. Usually held in a school building, the Head Start program allows children to attend preschool for free if they meet Head Start's developmental delay or lower income levels criteria. Then, if space allows, they allow other children to enroll and ask them to pay based on a sliding scale fee. Head Start's target market is children with developmental delays or children in impoverished situations. Often the program fills up with just those children, and other families who didn't meet those criteria are left without options. Unfortunately, Head Start is such a huge program that it's difficult for every location to maintain high quality standards. In fact, a simple search of Head Start losing funding in Google shows multiple locations in almost every state at risk to lose their funding because they violated quality standards. Stephen Barnett, director of the National Institute for the Early Education Research, NIEER, had this to say about Head Start. Quote, low quality standards and funding levels in most states means too many kids will start school ill-prepared to succeed or even to behave, end quote. Because of the varying levels of quality in Head Start locations, some families choose not to enroll their children there, even if it is an option for their family. Your target market is not looking for a free preschool program. They're looking for a high quality preschool program, and they will pay you for it. Okay, so this is why I say, even if Biden gives free preschool across the nation, I don't even care that it's available. It's not going to hurt our preschool programs. Great that it will serve more people who want to go to the free preschool. That is good for them, but they were never our target market in the first place. It's no different than me saying, hey, here is a dance business and here is a preschool business that we operate. Guess what, guys? The people that want their child to go learn dance for an hour are not going to put their child into your preschool program for 2.5 hours that doesn't give them dance for an hour. Do you see the difference? We are talking about apples and oranges here. People are trying to connect that, oh, our preschools are going to suffer if there is free preschool across the nation. And the truth of that is absolutely false. There's always been free preschool, friends. It's already been here for eons. It's already here. The point is that there is no way the government, and I'm going off on a tangent, but there is no way the government can provide high quality preschool education in every single program, in every single day, in every single city across the world, across the nation rather, for every single preschooler. It is physically, literally not possible. We have already proven with them trying to provide free preschool, we have already proven that it is not obtainable for every experience to be exactly premium quality education. Does that make sense? So therefore, it doesn't matter how many free preschools there are around. The people who want to send their free preschool, they will send their kid to free preschool. They will send them to free preschool. The kids who don't want their kids to go to free preschool with everyone else, there will always be that amount of people, guys. There will always be. And they will not send their kids to free preschool because of it. I'm just saying. They are our target market. They want a premium preschool education, not a free one. They're going to pay for it. They want the more than just a preschool. I'll get into that in a second. Sorry, I get on a soapbox on this. Yes, 100% Heather, there's already a shortage of teachers. How are we going to fund? How are we going to fill the spots, okay? Until the nation, until the world pay teachers what they are worth, there will always be a teacher shortage. There will always be teachers leaving the district until they get the support mentally and mentally that they need, and also with their families, that they can be there for not just the school, but that they can be done at their contract work time hours until that is done. And they don't have to spend time after school doing prep work and paperwork and all those things, guys. Until that is the thing, teachers will always be searching for something else. This is why this is beautiful for teachers or for anyone, because you set the rules in your preschool. You guys get to choose when I work, when I don't work, when I answer calls, when I don't answer calls, when I answer emails, when I don't answer emails. You know what I'm saying? You set the rules. Okay. Okay. Good. Here we go. Let's go on to number 2, state or grant funded preschool programs. This is a great question. Give me 1 second here. Let's look at this really quick. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Number 2, state or grant-funded preschool programs. As federal funds alone can't meet the needs of every state's early childhood education programs, each state has the option to fund its own preschool programs. Okay, and I saw this literally happen in Idaho. They can allocate any amount they choose, but early childhood education is often on the budget chopping block, especially because it's not a required program in every state. So for instance, in Idaho, there was no preschool program for every preschool child. Okay. There was no state funded. It's not like you sent your kids to school, public school at age 4. You didn't do that. Okay. There was none of that. There was Head Start, but there was no like every public school has age 4 preschool, or, I think you call it PK or something over in California. What do you guys call it? I don't remember. But anyways, Idaho doesn't have that. And most states don't. Okay. They don't have any program for preschool in the public district. So each state's budget varies dramatically as well. According to NIER, Washington, D.C. invests almost $17,000 per child, while Nebraska invests less than $2,000 per child. What's most shocking is that 7 states spent nothing at all on early childhood education in recent years, aka Idaho. When state funds aren't enough or aren't even available, some cities choose to get grant funding instead. And I saw this happen in Idaho as well. Depending on the size of the grant, one city might be able to get enough funding to teach just 24 students a year in its entire town, while its neighboring city, because they have more funding, is able to enroll 200 plus students. This is what happened. Cuna, where my preschool was, got like 24 students of funding, and Meridian, which is about 20 minutes away, got 200 students of funding. The biggest problem with any grant is that still finding the space to teach the preschoolers. Often cities look to the school districts for room, but most schools are full. So schools are either full or overcrowded, and extra rooms are rarely available. When have you walked down a public school and seen like just empty classrooms? It doesn't happen. With these giant hoops to jump through, most cities don't take the leap to create their own preschool programs. And we literally saw this go on where my preschool was being built. Sorry, all my Facebook and YouTube land, I'm back with you. We literally saw this happen where as soon as I had sold my preschool, it had no correlation. But once I sold my preschool, I was still in communication with the owner. And she told me how there was these grants that were going on to try to bring a preschool program into the city that our preschool was at. And it was in neighboring cities as well. And she's like, is this a concern? I was like, it's never a concern. Guys, this is free money. People don't want this free stuff. Yes, some people do. Cool. That's not your target market. Put on blinders. Forget about them. It's like people saying that they want to, do something different. So my point is, and then also, guess what happened? She went to all of these meetings. She was on the board that was trying to figure out this funding and how her preschool would work into it and blah, blah, blah. And guess what they decided at the very end of it? What is the greatest need in a community? That's what they will go down to. And the greatest need in every community is childcare. 1000% across the board. That is the greatest need. I don't say it's the only need. I said it's the greatest need. That is where they will put their dollars. So these 24 spots that they could have gone to like part-time preschool programs, they didn't do it. The 24 spots went directly into a full day childcare program because that is where the greatest need was. And every city did the exact same thing. So do you see what I'm saying, guys? These dollars are always going to go serve the greatest need, which is childcare, which is not you. And thank heavens has nothing to do with you. So you put your blinders on and you forget about them. Put your blinders on, forget about free preschool. Put your blinders on, forget about Head Start. Put your blinders on, forget about any state other programs. Okay. Your people that I will teach you how to find do not want those programs. So let's continue. Here we go. In both state or grant-funded preschool programs, their target market is any child ages 3 to 4 that lives within a certain boundary. Give me some liking on the videos, guys, if you guys are loving this. Some preschool programs are specifically only for children ages 4 and up. So depending on the program's funding, it may be free or it might charge a sliding scale fee. All these programs are created to meet the greatest needs in their community. This is literally in my book, I forgot. And often the greatest need is childcare. In any case, it's important to note that even with the mention of, quote, free, there's still a large portion of families that choose not to attend. As the Annie E. Case Foundation explains, in Alabama, only 25% of 4-year-olds attended the state's free preschool program in 2017, even though it was available to all. See where I'm going with this? Everyone believes, oh, as soon as Biden gives free preschool to all, every child will literally not be available and they will all be sitting in a free preschool seat. No, they will not. There is still a majority of people who won't choose free preschool. Okay. Several of my preschool owners have expressed concern to me when a free preschool option showed up as these did in their city. They thought they would lose all their business. And I guess I apparently said this in my book too. As they explained to me, why would anyone pay for preschool when they could go to for free somewhere else? I helped them understand that just because it was free didn't mean it met everybody's needs. Some families don't want their children to wait to go to preschool till they're 4. Some want to find a preschool when their kids are 3. Also, some families want an experience with hashtag more than just preschool. Give it to me in the comments. They want a community with events, field trips, and a warm personal touch. They want a family. Last, some families don't need childcare. So why would they put their child into an all-day program, even if it was free? Again, your target market is not the free crowd. Your target market is the families who want more offered than just preschool. All right, number 3, facility or home daycare programs. And this is what I found when I was trying to find a preschool for my daughter. If I had to ask you to list, hold up, there's a hair on me. Do you guys know what my biggest pet peeve is? It is random hair on my arm. Do you guys have that pet peeve? That is a pet peeve I had. Okay, let's continue. If I had to ask you to list 2 or 3 daycares in your town, you could probably do it. There's usually one on every busy corner, right? Often facility daycares are all we see as far as child-related businesses in our town. Home daycares are usually less easy to spot because most can't put signs in front of their homes advertising business, and they rarely advertise. In both cases, though, their target market is families who work and need their children to be taken care of during the day by loving childcare providers. Awesome. We love them. We love that there are people that do the best they absolutely can for these families. Daycare is needed. That's awesome. We just don't do it. While daycare owners usually accept infants through school-age children, they do their best to provide for the specific needs of each age group. In the preschool age group, that means preparing them for kindergarten. Unfortunately, too often, childcare providers are not educated in developmentally appropriate practice, a term coined by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, NAEYC. To understand developmentally appropriate practice, imagine you're caring for an infant. You wouldn't try to make the infant walk before he or she could crawl, would you? No, because you know that there are certain milestones that each person must hit before they move on to the next milestone. An infant must first crawl, then walk. Similarly, preschoolers should not be expected to do kindergarten level work in preschool. Yet all too often, we see daycares holding preschool by sitting 20 kids at a table and having them all do worksheets for 30 minutes. This is literally what I saw when I tried to enroll my daughter in a daycare that had preschool. In this instance, worksheets would not be considered developmentally appropriate because children need to first develop their fine motor skills and print awareness before being expected to write letters. And that skill is not usually developed until kindergarten. That being said, I don't mean to imply that every daycare runs their preschool time like this. On the contrary, I know that many daycares take early childhood education seriously and do an amazing job of following best practice and hiring educated, qualified providers. I will say that the daycares that I've seen in my cities all hire high school students. I don't know what to say about that. But I applaud the other daycare owners who do employ educated, qualified providers and follow development to the appropriate practice. I applaud them because for their commitment to excellence. I found that those daycares, however, are rare and are usually full. While daycares are perfect for full-time working families, great, go do that. Daycares don't often meet the needs of stay-at-home moms or part-time working families looking solely for part-time preschool. These families want their children to go to preschool for just a few hours a day, unlike the long hours of daycare, right? Because of the rarity of daycares with high-quality part-time preschool programs, some families are left without options. Number 4, okay, facility preschool programs. I didn't list facility preschool programs on the list previously because they're extremely rare to come by, but I'll still describe them here. These programs are perfect for stay-at-home or part-time working parents because they are strictly a preschool, teaching children ages 3 to 5 for a few hours each day. Sound familiar? These are often your elite preschools. I've got my eye on you, New York City, that require you to apply for admission pretty much as soon as you're pregnant. They have long waiting lists, high tuition rates, and exist primarily only in large cities. So these are typically not an option for your target market. After my preschool grew, our second location became exactly what I just described, a facility preschool. However, we wanted to keep our warm home-like environment, so we chose to renovate an entire home and turn it into a schoolhouse. It has an entirely different feeling than the cold brick and mortar facility establishments that you see today. And I think you all know what those look like, right? I believe my preschool became so successful because I offered the professionalism one finds in a facility preschool. But I did so in such a warm manner that you never knew we were a big preschool. The close community that we created in our little home preschool is exactly what we continue to foster as we grew. We may have had a big schoolhouse, but we never lost the small preschool feeling where you knew you were cared for as if you were our family. Home preschools, another option. As I've shown above or previously, there are several preschool programs available, but not all of them meet the needs of our very unique target market, right? These stay-at-home moms and part-time working parents are looking for a high-quality program that is strictly a preschool, not a daycare. They're also looking for a program that offers more than just preschool. They want an experience, a family, and a community. As the popular saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And these parents are looking for that village. In other words, your preschool, right? So what are these parents to do when their children's only preschool options are free or sliding scale programs, facility or home daycares, or facility preschools? Well, they can choose one of those options, or they can search for a preschool that meets their needs. And when they see that such a preschool, they'll hone in on it, just like they did with that steaming hot cinnamon roll in the middle of the crowded shopping mall. When I started my preschool, I knew I had created exactly what my preschool parents wanted because I got comments and feedback like the ones that I'll share right now almost daily. When these parents find a strictly a preschool program that they felt comfortable with, you will often hear them say these comments. I love that you only teach preschool and you're not a daycare. I love the warm, friendly environment. My child wishes he could come to preschool every day. I love how my child gets lots of one-on-one time with you because of your small classes. This is the perfect transition from home to home preschool to school. Every year, I look forward to coming to all of your fun events. When I'm at your preschool, I feel like I'm family. Definition of a home preschool. A preschool program, so a home preschool is a preschool program held in a residential home or apartment where the occupant, referred to as the director, teaches preschool classes for short time periods throughout the week to preschool age children and accepts monthly tuition payments for teaching. As explained in the introduction, our home preschool business model can also work well in commercial buildings like churches, business complexes, or separate buildings. The model's the same because you're still just strictly a preschool. You just chose to hold it in a different building than your home. While each home preschool is unique in teaching methods, curriculum models, and policies and procedures, among other things, most home preschools do share a fundamental structure. The director teaches a developmentally appropriate curriculum to children ages 3 to 5 in his or her home. The preschool classes usually run between 2 to 3 hours. I recommend 2.5, and are often organized into Tuesday, Thursday classes, sometimes morning and afternoon, or afternoon. Morning and or afternoon, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. Again, sometimes morning and or afternoon. While the preschoolers' parents pay a monthly tuition, the preschoolers are actually enrolled for a longer period of time, usually 9 to 10 months. In essence, when you sign up one child, most likely you'll be creating an income from that one child's enrollment for at least 9 months. That's a great business, if you ask me. Everybody, hashtag love that business, right? All right. Okay. Remember to keep these comments going, keep those hearts going. It helps me also to stay pumped. I'm going to be live for a long time. This is page number 48 out of 281. Or on your book, your actual physical book, it's page 30. Whoo! Okay, I got to get another drink. Keep myself pumped up here, right? Here we go. Thank you for the likes. Okay, friends, shake it off. Oh, my neck got super whatever. I don't know that I've been live so focused like this. Here we go. Income opportunity. First and foremost, let's remember why we chose to start a preschool in the first place. We love children. We want to help them grow into their full potential. And while that will always be our driving force behind running our preschool, we cannot forget that we are still running a business. If you fail to structure your business correctly, you run the risk of it failing. And if it fails, you can't bless children's lives anymore. So pay attention. Our goal is to set your business up right the first time so it can support your family. If you're constantly worrying about money, you won't be able to be fully present as a preschool teacher, business owner, wife, and mother. As you take care of your needs, you free yourself up to help everyone else's needs as well. So without further ado, let's jump right in and design a class structure that could actually work for your family's schedule, budget, and your teaching abilities. Every preschool owner has their different needs. So I'll try to discuss as many options as possible so you can really get brainstorming on which classes you'd like to teach. Yes, I recommend teaching per month. Megan, great question. Megan, good question. All right. And you're going to hear that in just a second. So be sure to notice as we go along that by simply doubling your classes from teaching one class in the morning to teaching a second class in the afternoon, you can double your income and bless twice as many students. To give you a working example, I'll show you how I started out in the very beginning. I had 4 different preschool classes, each with 6 children enrolled. I'm going to walk this through, don't worry. So that's 24 children enrolled, okay? I preferred a class length of 2.5 hours so I could teach 2 classes per day. Here's my schedule. Here's my 4 classes. Are you ready? Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 11:30. Then they went home. Okay? Tuesday, Thursday, 12 to 2:30. Then they went home. So this is a different class. 6 kids here, a different group of 6 kids here. Okay? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, different group of 6 kids. 9 to 11:30. Okay? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a different group of 6 kids, 12 to 2:30. Got it? All right, here we go. I chose this specific schedule for many reasons. Again, we're talking about local here, okay? We'll talk about online later. The school district where I was started before 9 a.m. and ended after 2:30. So this allowed parents to not run into transportation conflicts with other older siblings in school. Also, my 7-year-old daughter was in elementary school at the time. I wanted to ensure I wasn't teaching when she got home. Does that make sense? I wanted all the preschoolers out of the house, and I wanted her to come home, and it was just our family. Because I had 3 kids, remember, at that time. I had my 7-year-old and my 5 and my 3. So my 3 and 5 would go to preschool with me because my 5, who had just turned 5, missed the cutoff. So they were both at preschool with me for that year. So each day after she went to school, I taught my morning class. After those children left, I had lunch and I taught my afternoon class. By the time she walked home at 2:35, the preschoolers were already gone and it was time for family time. As for my younger two children, ages 3 and 4, almost 5, two preschool classes every day proved to be too much for them. So, to keep them happy and loving preschool, because there was a morning and afternoon class, they both came to preschool with me in the morning, but during the afternoon class, they had a choice. They could either take a nap, play in their room, or watch a movie in my bedroom. And sometimes they did all three things, right? Or versions. And sometimes they came to preschool, sometimes too. So, it was super flexible with what they wanted to do, but it still allowed me to teach that afternoon class. While my situation was considered full-time because it provided me with a full-time income, by no means was I really working full-time hours. I only worked 25 hours per week, and yet I made a full-time income, all while teaching, staying home, and playing with my younger kids while I worked. So depending on your situation, you might need a full-time income or you just might need a supplemental income. Over the next several pages, I'll show illustrations of different class schedules and sizes, as well as how much you might be able to earn. In those examples, we'll use my schedule of 2.5 hours per day. The tuition amounts I use in the examples are the exact tuition amounts I charged at the time of this publication, which was this publication. My preschool is in a small town on the outskirts of Boise, Idaho. Population of about 20,000 people. So the majority of my preschool owners have told me that their tuition rates are much higher, often $50 to $100 a month or more higher per child than mine, because I'm in a small town. But that's good because it's kind of like mine is like the bare minimum, okay? Please consider the tuition rates I share will likely be toward the lower end of your tuition rates. Unless you also live in a town with about 20,000 people, then you could probably have similar rates. The tuition rates we're using, you'll use will probably be higher. But the tuition rates we're using are just for illustration purposes, as we will help you determine how much to charge and how many kids to have in section 2 when we research your competition. Okay. All right. Now, this directly comes from the book. Let me find it really quick. There's actually, here we go. Okay. So I know this is hard to see, so I'm just going to kind of walk it through, okay? This example shows just a Tuesday, Thursday morning class. Do you see just the Tuesday, Thursday morning class? Okay. So assume that if you teach one class in the morning on Tuesday, Thursday, and you have 10 kids paying $120 each to come each month, then you would make $1,200 a month because 10 times 120 equals 1,200. Just for working 20 hours per month to teach that class, right? Okay. That makes sense. Hashtag got it. If you guys got that. So just one class at my rate of 120, which gosh, guys, that was like 3 years ago that I published this book for the second edition. And obviously the rate, no, not 3, because this is after online preschool. Maybe just a year and a half since I published it. Anyways, her rates have gone up since. My owner that owns the preschool now, her rates have gone up. So 120 is like bare minimum. Don't charge less than 120 a month locally. Okay. You can probably charge way more. Anyways, 1,200 you could make for just teaching 20 hours per month to teach the class. Okay, 2 classes. Let's assume now you're going to do a morning and afternoon on Tuesday, Thursday, right? So if you teach 2 classes on Tuesday, Thursday, morning and afternoon, and charge 120 per child, okay, with 10 children in each class, so same 10 kids, 120, same rate, you're just going to multiply 120 by 20 because you got 20 kids times 120. Now you're making $2,400 a month for just working 40 hours per month. Guys, I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of this book. This is hard. Have you guys ever read a book or talked for like 5 hours? This is really hard for me right now. My jaw. So I'm on page 34 in my book, and there are 260 pages or so, 260 pages in my book. I don't think I'm going to clear this. Literally, it's hard for me to talk right now. Here's what I do want to do. I'm going to read. Let me get through this section. Because it kind of like outlines how the classes work. And then I'm going to read the closing section that talks about like, well, what do I want to read? Yeah, I'll read this last like itty bitty chapter, the conclusion. And then I think I'm going to have to bounce off because it's getting really hard for me to talk all of this stuff. So let's do this. Let me finish reading this section to explain kind of how local classes work. And then if you guys want to get my book, you guys can go to freepreschoolbook.com and keep reading it on your own. You get a free audiobook and ebook. I've already read it in the audiobook, so you guys can keep listening right now. You'll immediately get access to the audiobook and ebook, and then we'll actually ship you also a physical copy. So anyways, I know, Heather, I will literally have no voice, right? Oh, Megan, that's awesome. You ordered yours. That's awesome. Good job, girl. So let me continue. I've got just, I think, one more page of this section, and I'm going to see if there's any last questions because I want to make sure I get your questions answered, and then I'll probably bounce off after this. But you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here for so many hours. Okay, let's talk about 3 classes right here. This is this one right here. So 3 classes. That means a Tuesday, Thursday morning, Tuesday, Thursday afternoon, plus a Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, okay? So if you did that, now remember, we already had the $2,400 for the Tuesday, Thursday schedule, okay? Now let's just talk Monday, Wednesday, Friday because it's easier with a graphic. If you had 10 kids and you only charge $175 a month each for local preschool, that's going to be an extra $1,750 a month. So total for 3 classes is going to be $4,150 a month, okay? Now let's talk 4 classes. All right, so here you're doing everything. You're doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, AM, PM, Tuesday, Thursday, AM, PM, right? You're just going to add those all together, right? So you have 20 kids at $120 a month, 20 kids at $175 a month, and all together the total for that is $5,900 a month. Now, all you're doing though, you're only working in that situation. Oh, my jaw. In that situation, you're working 25 hours a week, okay? Not full-time hours, and you are making more in this scenario than you ever would working at a school district, as a preschool teacher, as a preschool director, as a daycare owner, working gazillion 12 hours, right? So the point is that this business, in my opinion, is the best business for any, wow, what happened to my light? For any woman who wants to stay home with her kids and create a consistent income. In my opinion, it is the best. Not only did it produce for me, but we had amazing successes with all of our other women too. And there's like 24 other case studies in here from other women. So I'd love for you to read their stories. Let's go ahead. And at the very end, I'm just going to read, the last section here. Okay, here we go. I'll read it from here. It's page 257. I love this little part. This kind of like wraps up the book. So page 257. See here where it's at. Getting close. Okay, here we go. Conclusion. Oh, you guys want to see me with my kiddos on the very first day of preschool? I am so glad I had that picture. This is me in my garage. Here's me in the back right here. That's my daughter, Maddie, and my son, Ashton, right there. See right there. My first day of my new preschool, but here we go. I can still remember the first day of my new preschool. I looked down at my own children and said, "Are you ready for preschool?" The moment we opened the door, we were met with the bright, smiling faces of our preschool students as they jumped up and down in their new school shoes. My children and I waved at everyone, and I said, "Good morning, come on in. Let's have a great first day of preschool." Later that day, I made my very first tuition deposit into my new preschool checking account. For the first time in months, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I could provide a full-time income for my family. As I walked out of the bank with my receipt in hand and a bright future ahead, I couldn't believe how far I had come. I wrote this book for every woman who wanted to make a change in her life, but who felt incapable of doing so. If you've ever felt afraid that you're not enough or that you won't be able to find success, I want you to know that I know exactly how you feel. I've been there. And because I've been there, I can help you find success. It says, step outside of your comfort zone and enter my comfort zone. Go to preschoolallstars.com to learn more and get started right away. This book is my gift to you, truly a labor of love, in the hopes that you'll hear the battle cry rise up in the distance from the people who need you most. I heard that battle cry 10 years ago as I looked at my children, and I knew that I had to make a change in our lives. I knew I had to make a better life for them and for me. I urge you to wake up, to look around and search for those who are calling out to you. Hear their battle cry. Who needs you to fight for them? Who is crying out to you, asking you to change their lives? Is it yourself, your own family, your future students, your future teachers, or your community? As poet Dylan Thomas writes, Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Because I've been blessed with this incredible knowledge of how to help women create successful preschools, I have a mission that only I can fulfill and a message that only I can share. I will continue to shout it off the rooftops until every woman knows there is a third option, and that perhaps is the best option for her and her family. So I will not go gentle into that good night. I will continue to rage against the dying of the light, and I ask you to join me. Rally with me as we cry out to our families that we will protect them. We will provide for them, and we will be there for them. Be a light in this ever darkening world. We need good leaders and teachers more than ever before. Be a change for good. Be a life changer. Start a preschool and help us change lives, one preschool at a time. With that said, I'll leave you now. This truly has been a pleasure sharing my story with you. I look forward to working with you more closely inside our Preschool All Stars community and to wish you all the success and happiness in the world. And that, my friend, is the end of the book. So there is a chunk that we've missed. There is a hefty, good chunk of all the meat of the book that we have missed. But you guys can go get your copy over at freepreschoolbook.com. And definitely go get your copy over there if you haven't gotten it already. Also, we are doing a free challenge tomorrow. I'm going to stay for just about 5 more minutes, answer any last questions you have. Please make sure that you are registered. The challenge starts tomorrow, and we are going on with or without you, my friends, and you want to be part of it. We only do it live 2 times a year, and it's incredible. I was going to say insane. It's also insane. It's incredible and insane, the amount of support that we give you during this challenge. It's a 7-day challenge. It's free. We're going to help you learn exactly how this preschool business, either online or local, will work for you and your family. We'll help you figure out your tuition time, your class times, your tuition rates. We're going to help you figure out if you need a degree or experience, you don't. If you need a license, you don't. We're going to explain all this stuff to you in very step-by-step, very clear directions. The challenge itself is about 30-minute training in the morning. So every morning, so in other words, tomorrow morning, I will drop about 20 to 30-minute video training in our free Facebook group. If you are not a member of our Facebook group yet, make sure you guys are a member of that group. I just dropped the link. And so for everybody over here, just go to preschoolchallenge.com, and then all of my emails and texts, you'll be able to get the link for that free Facebook group over in TikTok land over here. But what else am I saying? Yeah, every morning I'll drop the training, and you can watch it anytime during the day that works for you, because I know everybody's schedules work differently. It'll be there early morning. And then there will be a little task. It might take 5 minutes. It might take 30 minutes. It just depends on what the task is of the day. Tomorrow's task is very easy. It should take about 5 minutes. Okay. So it's actually pretty good. It's a very short task to get you in momentum real fast. Okay. And then every night you just join me live, 9 p.m. Eastern. So 9, 8, 7, 6, depending on where you're at in the country. Pacific is 6, Mountain is 7. Central is 8, and 9 is Eastern. Just join me live in our free Facebook group. We go live every night answering your questions and making sure you stay on track. But yeah, friends, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm going to see if there's any last questions really quick. Let's see. Courtney, what's up? Not sure what to charge for your 3-day local Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hey, Courtney, she's a preschool all-star. I'm losing my voice. Courtney, I want you to go through your 30-day challenge in Preschool All-Stars. So listen to my directions. Go to the All-Stars Facebook group. Click on guides at the top of the group. Then click on the 30-day challenge. When you're in there, I want you to go to the very last lesson in the 30-day challenge that's not the hub training. And I want you to click on, it's called like Successful Preschools Decoded. I think that's what the training is. Click on there and look through that for my apples to apples strategy. It's how you define how much to charge for your 3-day local Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. Because I can't tell you. I didn't do the research, but it tells you how to do the research. And it'll be really, really insightful. But you got to go through the training. Sound good, Courtney? Now you know exactly where to go find it. Okay. Hi, Trayshawn. You have the book, but how do you get the audiobook? Well, the audiobook is just available at preschool-dashboard.com. Preschool-dashboard.com is where all of our training lives. And so once you have gotten your book, just go create an account or log into your account at preschool-dashboard.com, and you'll see your book there, the audiobook and the ebook version. Okay. Let's go see what else we have here for any other questions on TikTok land. Let's see here. Oh, good. I'm glad I helped Nicole Charisse through the whole procrastination part. I got you kickstarted. Yay. That's awesome. Yes, I love it. But don't forget to just join me for the challenge. Even if you don't finish the book, guys, just join me for the challenge tomorrow, okay? Because it will walk you through everything. And that's way more important than reading a book right now, okay? So yes, the book is amazing. Go get it. And it's great to see. Look what I'm doing. I'm trying to find this hair that's on my side here. Darn hair. Anyways, does the book cover about licensure? It sure does. It absolutely does. And I don't know where, but it definitely talks about licensure in here when it's talking about setting up your preschool. Oh, questions to ask your licensor. Yep, 100%. It certainly does. So, and those, it'll also be addressed in the challenge. That's right. Let's see what other questions. Heather, want a special surprise. Oh, I love that. So Heather is teaching you how to find my podcast. Let me go see if I can find it on here too. Joy Anderson on Google Preschool. I'm going to do it in an incognito window, says Heather, that I should go Google myself. Joy Anderson, a Preschool All-Stars podcast. I would imagine with that many words, it would pull up, huh? Okay. And there it is at the top of the Google. That's awesome. So yeah, Preschool All-Stars podcast. If you guys just want to put some more Joy Anderson in your ear, it's actually not me talking. Most of the stuff is our Preschool All-Stars sharing their stories. So that'd be really fun too. You could also find it on your phone app. So TikTok land, YouTube land, Facebook land, you've been phenomenal. Thank you for helping me to overcome my fear of going live on TikTok. Second time over here and we did it. So thank you so much. You guys have been an awesome support. I'm going to see you guys, everyone, in our challenge. It starts tomorrow, but I'll see everybody who's registered for the challenge at 9 p.m. Eastern in my Facebook group, the free one. So you guys know where to go. We'll see you soon, friends. Okay, now I got to close all my lives down. First, I'm going to close this one down, and then TikTok, I don't even know how to close that. So Facebook, YouTube,